From Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, it is the 2021 State Farm College Baseball Showdown here on Flo Sports and FloBaseball. Welcome to the broadcast, as today we have a good trio of games in store, starting with Mississippi State and TCU. As I am Scott Galletti along with Pat Combs, and should be a good one here today, Pat.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's day two of this tournament here, Scott. Had some long games yesterday, but man, were they competitive and fun to watch. So a lot of great baseball this weekend. Mississippi State off to a great start yesterday with a big win. TCU with a loss yesterday, so should be a great matchup.
Yeah, TCU, the designated road team today, and they are led by a guy who had a good game last night, Hunter Wolf.
Yeah, Hunter Wolf is a tremendous defensive center fielder, and one that Jim Schlossnagle says, you know, part of this defensive unit, he feels like maybe the best he's had at TCU. Wolf is diving all over the place yesterday. Had a couple of plays where it looked like he got hurt, stayed in the game. But key for TCU is Hunter Wolf staying healthy this year. Off to a great start last year with the bat. Hit .341, and he's going to be in the middle of that Horned Frog lineup. Look for big things from Hunter Wolf.
And a guy who had a big game and wasn't too kind to the opponents, a guy by the name of Rowdy. Rowdy Jordan for Mississippi State.
Gotta love that name, right? Rowdy Jordan is really one of the key cogs inside that Mississippi State lineup. He hits in the number one hole, so he's a leadoff guy, but with some pop. We saw a home run yesterday from Jordan, and he really is a key player. When you think about Mississippi State losing Jordan Westberg and Justin Foscue, two of the top 30 picks in Major League Draft last year, you know, Chris Lemonis for the Bulldogs had to look to somewhere to get more offensive production, and Rowdy Jordan certainly provides that for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. So we've got three great games in store. It was a late night last night. How does that affect the teams that were in the late game, and especially we understand the umpires in the late game or in the first game?
Well, it's one of those big turnarounds where you got to sleep quick, right? We talked about that even for the broadcasters, but
right.
You know, the crew was tired yesterday, the long day of baseball, but you know, the excitement you have when you get up in the morning and feel like you've got some of the top teams in college baseball competing at this tournament, that's what makes it fun. That's what gets our adrenaline going, and we're in for a great day of ball.
This should be an outstanding game to watch here, Pat.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, matchups of probably two of the better pitching staffs in all of college baseball. They're both great defensively. I think it's going to come down to who just gets the key hits at the right times. We saw that yesterday. A couple of teams left runners on base, and the teams that won yesterday were the ones that had more freebies, and they produced when they needed to.
And the one thing I know the people in Texas, Arkansas, for that matter, aren't too happy or actually Arkansas they're happy, in Texas they're not, as the SEC defeated the Big 12 in all three games. Yeah,
it was a 3-0 sweep for the SEC yesterday, and you know, you always look at the battle between these two conferences. They probably are the two best baseball conferences in America. And it's going to be a battle. I think the Big 12 will come back. You'll probably see some better effort today. And who knows how this thing's going to end up. But as most of the coaches told us, they are happy to be here, happy to kind of get a barometer on where their team is to start this season. And how not better than to play against some of the better competition in the country.
Absolutely. And then we got one more day tomorrow with three more games. So this is exactly turning out the way, maybe not time-wise, but it's turning out the way that people wanted in terms of the talent, the everything. As you look at tomorrow's schedule here, we're going to have three more great games, but just in terms of the looking into where these teams are and where they are against the better teams, because we saw some battles last night.
Yeah, no doubt. That Arkansas win over Tech late was one of those back-and-forth affairs, just momentum shifts throughout. And you're going to see more of that here in the next couple of days. And I think when you talk about talent and the level that we're seeing, the level of play, you need to know no more than that there's every Major League Baseball team is represented here with their scouting staffs, looking at multiple players for each team in this upcoming Major League Draft.
So we will have the TCU Horned Frogs taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs in the first game of three here today on Flo Sports. 2021 State Farm College Baseball Showdown. First game of the day here at Globe Life Field, Mississippi State and TCU. Scott Colletti along with former Major League pitcher Pat Combs. You look at the visiting team, the TCU Horned Frogs. Here's their lineup here today. Elijah Nunez, he is in left field. Tommy Sacco at short. Wolf, center fielder. Gene Wood, the first baseman. The DH is Austin Henry. Gray Rogers, the second baseman. Humphreys is the catcher. Shepard at third. Right fielder is Boyers. And the pitcher is Russell Smith. As you look up at the leadoff man, Elijah Nunez. And TCU, a team with power, a team with speed, and a team that's going to try doing things on the base pass this year. And should be a good one here today. As you mentioned, Pat, in the opening, pitching, and pitching for both these teams.
Well, they are loaded with arms, there's no doubt, and a lot of power arms. But as we saw yesterday, you know, Christian McLeod, a great start for Mississippi State, and then followed up with an even better bullpen performance by Landon Sims, striking out 10 hitters in just 5 innings. And you can't say any more than that about the way the bullpen is structured here for Mississippi State and the number of arms that Chris Lemonis has at his disposal. And then a pitching change today. We were expecting to see Will Bednar make the start, and he is being replaced by Houston Harding. And Harding here finishing up his warm-up tosses, but a late scratch for Bednar. I think it was nothing more than a stiff neck when he woke up this morning, and so instead of trying to press him into service today, not feeling 100%, left-handed changeup specialist Houston Harding will take over for Mississippi State in the start today.
So Houston Harding on the bump for Mississippi State. We are about ready for baseball. Seems like we just finished last night, but we're starting again today. Long games yesterday, including the nightcap that went 4 hours and 18 minutes, way after midnight. First pitch of the game, and it's a called strike, and we are underway.
Well, it's you got your 3 or 4 hours of sleep, right, right, Scott? I think that's all we need for this type of baseball. It's an adrenaline rush, man.
There's a bunt up along first, and that is going to be ran to the bag by Josh Hatcher, and one away. Elijah Nunez leading off here for the Horned Frogs, and Elijah Nunez up and down, 3 unassisted.
Well, Nunez was trying to get the bunt pushed more closer to second base, and that, when you see DeBrule playing back as far as he was, you want to try to get it past the pitcher, but more towards second base. So not a successful execution of that drag bunt by Nunez.
Tommy Sacco, the shortstop, coming up. Sacco 1 for 3 yesterday, struck out and walked.
A good look at Houston Harding. He's a 6'1", 230-pound lefty. Hails from Walls, Mississippi. Went to Evangelical Christian School, and he is a junior. Had a pretty good start last year before the season got cut short. A couple of midweek starts, went 1-0 with a 2.79 earned run average. 9 2/3 innings, only gave up 6 hits. Walked 3, struck out 11. Opponents only hit 158 off of Harding. So you'll see the fastball sit upper 80s. His best pitch is that changeup. Those are in the low 70s, and that high 3/4 arm slot gets some good arm side movement as well.
Sacco gets his second walk of the year. Hunter Wolf now the batter, and Hunter Wolf 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Had a double, struck out twice and walked. First pitch to Wolf is a called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, Harding dropped in a slider there, and he'll typically throw more changeups to right-handed hitters. Kind of a slurverish type slider that he throws, and gets the call strike there on Wolf.
Time called for the moment. You look at the runner being held down over by Josh Hatcher. Sacco. Here's the runner.
Well, one of the keys for Jim Schlossnagle, and he believes, is Hunter Wolf staying healthy this year. And Scott, we saw in a couple of different occasions Wolf making diving plays in the outfield, and both times he came up a little bit sore and had to right himself, but there was a collision in right field between he and Luke Boyers, and Wolf took the brunt of that collision. They were both in a diving action trying to catch a ball, and Wolf got up slow from that. Reminds me a lot of the way my center fielder used to play, Lenny Dykstra, just diving all over the place, making great plays. But then
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, then you start to wonder, you know, how can he make it through a season? And I think that's what Schlossnagle's hope is you love a center fielder that can cover the gaps like Wolf does, but then, you know, you wonder at what point on one of those diving plays is he going to hurt a shoulder or get his wrist caught underneath him. And so always those risks when you've got a player who plays all out like Hunter Wolf.
Hit well, but that's going to tail foul. Looks like a good catch over there.
We've had a couple of good catches here at Globe Life Field, and nicely done. No glove. Who needs a glove, right?
Who needs a glove? Yep. Fastball up high, 88-mile-an-hour pitch. Now for Harding, how tough is it to come in not planning to start the next day and then waking up finding out that you're going to start?
Yeah, and probably pretty late too. I'm sure Bednar was down in that Mississippi State bullpen warming up, trying to get it going, and then the coaching staff comes up to you and says, hey, we need you today. And the good news is Harding has been in this position before as a starter. Last season had a couple of starts, so he knows how to do it. And it's, you know, it's really just the preparation time between the time you're told and getting yourself ready. The good news in that, Scott, is sometimes pitchers who don't have time to think about it can actually, just that reaction time of getting yourself ready, you don't have a lot of time to mentally get yourself processed, so you just go out there and throw like you were coming out of the pen. And for Harding, he's good both ways. He can throw out of the bullpen and start. So so far, you're seeing him pound the strike zone and has pretty good stuff. So it looks like he's ready. Harding gained a lot of confidence last season. On the final day of the season, right after we heard about COVID and it shutting the college baseball season down, he beat Texas Tech. Chris Lamona said just gained a great amount of confidence knowing he could beat a team as good offensively as Tech.
Hunter Wolf at the plate. 2-2 the count to him. Outfield straightaway, the infield double play depth. No score first inning. TCU and Mississippi State. Mississippi State, the designated home team. And that's a hard pitch. 87 miles an hour for a ball, and the count is full. 3-2 to Wolf.
You know, Harding trying to go hard in to finish off Wolf, and has missed a couple of times up in the zone with his fastball, and that is not where he needs to live with that fastball. Gene
Wood, the first baseman, is on deck. And that was a good off-speed pitch, 74 miles an hour.
Well, there's that changeup. Talked about it being a plus-plus pitch for Harding, and that's a go-to pitch for him. There's a swing and miss pitch, as Hunter Wolf will attest. Harding going to it full count on Wolf after he just walked Sacco, so it gives you an indication he'll throw that pitch anytime. Well, the key to the changeup is having that arm action look exactly like the fastball. That's what the hitter sees. He sees fastball arm action, but obviously decreased velocity.
No score here in the first inning. 2 men are gone. TCU in the road uniforms today. Mississippi State in their home whites.
You're starting to get the impression that Houston Harding a little bit charged up. He doesn't usually miss consecutively with fastballs up in the zone, so it just tells you could be overthrown a bit. Get that little adrenaline rush in the first inning. A lot of starting pitchers have to settle in, and now he throws a fastball for a strike.
87 on that pitch.
Fastball just missed down in the zone, and catcher Logan Tanner trying to get that glove underneath it.
Two and one to count. 2 men are gone. A man at first. That's Sacco, held on by Hatcher. And a swing and a miss. 88-mile-an-hour pitch. Houston Harding, left-hander. See Hatcher holding on the runner at first. 2-2 the count. And a quick throw over to first.
Yeah, State well aware of the aggressive base running from TCU, and really a good count to run on. 2-2 with 2 outs. See if Bill Mosiella will put Sacco in motion here. Nope, he stays still, and another full count for Harding. So now Josh Hatcher will back off and not keep Sacco tight.
Runner goes. It's a ground ball up along short. James up with the ball, and now he's not up with the ball. Tried to scoop it, couldn't get it, and that'll keep the inning alive. That'll be an E6.
It looked like a slider delivery from Houston Harding, and the ball was down. Looked like Gene Wood just hit that ball at the end cap of his bat. It had some funky spin on it, and that ball definitely moved after that second hop to Cameron James, and it'll go down as an E6, but that ball had some spin on it. And he cut it. You can see Harding saying this ball's got a big smiley face on it. Surprised the umpires didn't check that. That ball was off the end of the Woods bat. That's some good honesty from the starting pitcher. Usually you get those balls that are cut. I'm not throwing them out of the game. I'm throwing it next pitch.
Right. You got Hatcher at first, DeBrule over at second, James at short, Landon Jordan at third, Brad Cumbest in left, Rowdy Jordan in center, and Tanner Allen in right. Logan Tanner behind home plate, and Houston Harding the pitcher. The defensive alignment for Mississippi State. You see the situation, first and second to runners.
A good changeup opening pitch. against the big hitting Austin Henry.
You know the crowd's going to go crazy when they make that kind of move.
Sacco had made a pretty good step towards third base, and Harding quickly spinning around just to keep him in check. And not a big lead at second. A little bit of cat and mouse here between Harding and Sacco, and Sacco not with a big lead, but drawing a lot of attention from Harding.
Harding 1 for 5 yesterday, a double. Or Henry, excuse me. 1 for 5 with a double, 3 strikeouts. Harding deals, and that was a strike. 0-2. Nothing in 2 here in the first innings. 2 outs, 2 men aboard, scoreless. Just the start of the day. Runners go. It's up and in. The throw goes into left field, and that's going to score a run. The aggressive running by TCU pays off. Schlossnagle said, hey, we're going to create chaos. Chaos produces a run.
Boy, no doubt about it. It looked like with a decent throw, Sacco would have been out at third base. He didn't get that great of a jump. But the usually reliable Logan Tanner just airmails that into left field, and it looked like he just didn't have a good grip on the ball. No chance for Landon Jordan to knock it down at third base, and just like that, TCU manufactures the first run here in this first inning.
So E2 scores Sacco. Sacco gets a stolen base. E2 scores him.
And Harding records the strikeout, right? Very next pitch.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? Well, he has 2 strikeouts. TCU has a run as we go to the bottom of the first inning. It's TCU 1, Mississippi State coming up. 2021 College Baseball Showdown brought to you by State Farm on FloSports. Welcome back here to Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Scott Galletti along with Pat Combs, former Major League pitcher. And a look at the Mississippi State Bulldog lineup. And the Bulldogs will have Rowdy Jordan in center, Cameron James at short, Tanner Allen the right fielder, Logan Tanner the catcher, Hatcher is the first baseman, Hancock DH, DeBrule second base, Cumbest in left, third baseman is Landon Jordan, and Houston Harding is on the hill. Here in the first inning, Rowdy Jordan, Cameron James, and Tanner Allen. Rowdy Jordan will be facing Russell Smith. Russell Smith for TCU. Wearing number 33 in his road uniform out of Midlothian, Texas. Didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah, easy for you to say, right?
Yeah, Midlothian. Well, you live in Texas. You can say it a lot better than I can. Midlothian, Texas, 6'9", 250. And the first pitch is popped in the air to the right side and looks like it's going to drift into the front row of seats. 0-1 the count.
Well, your TV screen doesn't fool you. He's all of 6'9". He fills the screen up. Does Russell Smith, and like you said, Scott, a local product. I saw him pitching in high school, and of course TCU had recruited him early. And the talent was always there with him, but he went through a couple of shoulder issues, had Tommy John surgery. He is now healthy and really the kind of pitcher that TCU envisioned him out of high school. That tall frame, he'll have a fastball, and you can imagine the downward tilt on it, but 90 to 93 is where he'll typically sit. Really good changeup and a slider to complement, but he is now throwing the off-speed pitches more often for strikes. That was his challenge coming out of high school, and he has become, in Jim Schlossnagel's words, part of their weekend rotation at TCU.
And part of the weekend rotation at TCU means a big thing, because very good program. They know their way to the World Series, been there 5 times, and ground ball up along third. Shepard throws them out. 1 away. So Roddy Jordan, who had a blast, both fun-wise and hit a blast
right.
last night.
He did catch a hold of one, boy, and it was a no-doubter. We talked about Jordan, that sneaky pop. Expected to hit potentially double-digit home runs this year, but yeah, very aggressive leadoff hitter.
Yeah, well, sneaky pop. I mean, to have a pop like that, that's more than sneaky. As that ball last night exploded off the bat, Cameron James the batter, and that's a high chopper to short. Nice job on the run by Sacco. Throws over to first in time. You can just see the smoothness in this infield, and that was one of the things that Coach Schlossnagel was talking about as well. The fielding, just quick on the ball with Sacco, no hesitation, but no hurry at the same time.
Well, and you talk about the strength of a defense, especially up the middle, where you've got a veteran with a lot of experience like Zach Humphreys behind the dish, and then Tommy Sacco, one of the better defensive shortstops in college baseball, along with Gray Rogers, and then Hunter Wolf patrolling center field. And when you're strong up the middle, that typically sets yourself up to be a good defensive unit. And as Coach Schloss says, this could very well be one of his better defensive teams he's ever coached.
Good fastball, 93-mile-an-hour pitch for a strike. Oh, 2 pitch. That blows them down, 93 miles an hour, and down goes Mississippi State. 1, 2, 3 go the Bulldogs, and we've gone 1 here in Arlington, Texas, as it is TCU 1, Mississippi State nothing. And now a look at TCU.
Where legends were born. Where family is everything. And where the magic is real.
And it is now official. The road to Omaha is the toad to Omaha.
There's no place like here.
Because there's no place like home.
This is Frogball USA.
Oh my goodness. What a crazy night at Lupton Stadium.
Gray Rogers, Zach Humphreys, Connor Shepard coming up here in the top of the second inning. No score at Globe Life Field. Scott Galletti along with Pat Combs, former major leaguer. Day number 2 of the State Farm College Baseball Showdown. Had 3 showdowns last night and expecting it again today.
Yeah, no doubt, Scott, and it's some really good games. Last night we were up late, obviously. We talked about that with the late comeback victory for Arkansas over the Red Raiders of Tech, 13-9. That game was just a crazy back and forth affair. And Arkansas putting up 5 runs in the top of the 9th to come from behind in that one. And then these Mississippi State Bulldogs over Texas in our leadoff game yesterday, 8-3. And Ole Miss beating the Horned Frogs 7-3.
Quick K for the Mississippi State pitcher Houston Harding. Down goes Gray Rogers. Zach Humphreys now the batter. That's 3 strikeouts already.
There's some little sloppy defense in the first inning that cost Harding the unearned run. But the error at short and the throwing error on his catcher Logan Tanner that scored Tommy Sacco of TCU. Otherwise, Harding's been fairly sharp. Just the 1 walk in the previous inning that ended up scoring, but would have been out of it.
Humphreys puts a charge in this one, but Roddy Jordan is there, and there's quickly 2 gone.
If you're just joining us, Houston Harding making the emergency start in place of Will Bednar. Bednar woke up this morning with some tightness in his neck, and Mississippi State coaching staff said, hey, let's not try to press him into action today, possibly bring him back for a start tomorrow when this series concludes. So Harding, typically a starter reliever, gets the start in place of Bednar today.
Connor Shepard 1 for 4 last night. TCU losing to Ole Miss 7-3. Mississippi State a big win over Texas 8-3, and then the wild one last night.
Kept us up late, but it was worth it. That was a tremendous ball game last night, back and forth. Texas Tech, I think, had three different leads and just could not hold them. Very uncharacteristic letdown by the Tech bullpen last night.
Arkansas ended up winning that game 13-9. Just another pitcher's battle.
Yeah.
That's in the air to left field, and the left fielder Cumbest is underneath it and makes a catch. And a quick 1-2-3 inning this time for Houston Harding. So 1-2-3 goes TCU. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No score in Texas.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah. If the chicken in a chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies. All on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
'21 State Farm College Baseball Showdown here on Flow Sports. Beautiful Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Scott Galletti and Pat Combs on hand, and the Flow Sports crew doing a great job. Another long day today. And for Mississippi State, it is Logan Tanner, Josh Hatcher, and Luke Hancock. Man, that shot just never gets old. It's basically the camera is right down below from where we're at, and we're looking at the same view. And we're looking at the old ballpark in Arlington, and now it's called Globe Life Park. not to be confused with this stadium, Globe Life Field.
Yeah, I have to look at the backstop reminder of that because you're right. It can get confusing here in Arlington. But, man, you're right, Scott. One of the better complexes. I think it's got to be one of the better baseball facilities in the country now with the way the Rangers constructed this field. Of course, $1.1 billion into it. But got the retractable roof, which I know fans in Arlington are so looking forward to when it comes June, July, August here in North Texas. I remember watching a few games in Globe Life Park in the middle of August, and you had to bring the sweat towel with you because you were going to be
right,
trying to keep yourself from melting away during some of those summer games. Players will surely appreciate it for the Texas Rangers, and what a great venue for these college players to come into a Major League Baseball atmosphere to start their 2021 seasons.
Logan Tanner followed by Josh Hatcher and Hancock, and Tanner is the strikeout victim, the second straight for Russell Smith.
Well, Smith off to a good start. You can see the fastball that touched 93 there on the strikeout to Tanner. So again, with some of these big time arms, it's not overpowering, but it's that tilt coming from that 6'9" frame. Just a hitter's not used to seeing that ball delivered from that height.
Pitch is fouled off to the left side by Hatcher.
I'll tell you the biggest difference I've seen in Russell Smith. I saw him pitch in high school on a few occasions, and just his ability to command the plate now. You know, when you're a big left-hander like that in high school, you're throwing upper 80s, low 90s. You can just about throw it by most hitters at the high school rank, and so it takes a little settling into this college level and really learning how to command the fastball, and that's exactly where Smith has gotten better, and off-speed command has definitely improved.
Hatcher with a base hit to left field. Hatcher 1 for 5 last night, gets his second hit of the season. Pretty good rip right there. Luke Hancock now coming up, and Hancock last night had a night. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, had a walk and a homer.
Just a great at bat by Josh Hatcher. You can see what the experience pays off, and you know, heavy left-handed lineup for Mississippi State. So the matchup for TCU on paper looks really good with Smith, but Hatcher, the senior veteran that he is, you know, has 4 years of experience under his belt here at State. He just takes that fastball the other way, and that's a good indication of what a more veteran player will do, especially facing a pitcher he hasn't seen first time into the box, and just doesn't try to do too much, but take what the pitcher gives you.
Hancock, an outstanding catcher. Good line drive hitter. Fouled it off there. You don't want to line drive it backwards, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, you want that thing going forwards, but yeah, Hancock, again, another experienced player in this program, and you know, can catch, but as Chris Lamona said, we can't keep his bat in the lineup. He's just a grinder in the box and really works counts. It's the late timeout call there, and granted by Michael Banks, home plate umpire.
Yeah, I guess they learned after last night to maybe wait, or I don't know what the situation was last night where a timeout wasn't granted and a balk scored a run on a bases loaded situation.
Yeah, that was catcher Braxton Fulford trying to gain timeout and didn't get it, and that kind of crossed his pitcher up at that moment.
Well, 92-mile-an-hour pitch will cross anyone up as DeBrule is coming up after Hancock strikes out. Scotty DeBrule the batter, but Hancock the third strikeout victim already for Russell Smith. DeBrule 1 for 4, 2 runs scored yesterday. Walk, struck out.
Well, if you have a concern about the Bulldog lineup, it would be that when they face a tough starting left-handed pitcher, that could cause some issues with this heavy left-handed lineup. And as we talked about, advantage to Smith so far.
Smith and Houston Harding, the combatants on the hill today so far.
Hatcher not a huge threat to run at first base for State, but Russell Smith just saying, hey, I know you're still there.
Good hard fastball, 92 miles an hour.
And that fastball down and away from Smith is so deceptive. Just with that high arm angle and the downward tilt that that fastball has to it.
Taking a long look over first, and now time called. Was going to wait for the pitch, but you're talking about the angle. That's what makes it tough when you got a 6'9" guy on the hill, and all of a sudden he's coming from different angles with heat.
Yeah, it's a different arm slot, different tunnel for the hitters, and it does take a period of adjustment.
It's a shooting gallery coming at you.
Well, it's the old helicopter throw, right? Yeah, you just don't see very many 6'9" pitchers, and you know, Kiefer Russell Smith has always been, he's been a tall pitcher for, you know, most of his teen life as well. He's handled it pretty well in terms of repeatability in his mechanics.
That's going to be one play to make, and not in time. Speeding it out is DeBrule, as that was a play made by Connor Shepard at third, and DeBrule just beat it out.
Yeah, Connor Shepard, it wasn't a clean transition out of his glove. If you watch, just a slight hesitation, he was trying to adjust the grip. Just couldn't get it cleanly. That little hesitation cost him. That's a really close play at first base, but how about the wheels by Scotty DeBrule getting out of that box, and what looked like a fairly routine ground ball turns into an infield single. When as a pitcher, you got to mentally reset pretty quick as well. Smith is walking off the mound going towards the dugout thinking, hey, this inning's over. Got the ground ball, let's get back in there and do some hitting. And now you got to have a quick reset, get yourself back in mentally, and Smith certainly does that.
Brad Cumbest now the batter. The left fielder for Mississippi State.
And if he looks like a football player, it's because he is. He plays tight end at State.
Yeah, how about a tight end for Mike Leach playing baseball at the same school?
Well, yeah, and exactly right. Good point. So when Mike Leach came, you know, they eliminated the tight end position with his offense, and so now he's a slot receiver. But Cumbest was also drafted for baseball out of high school. So you know, that divided loyalties towards each sport. And Chris Lemonis says, man, he is still figuring out his swing, but when he gets a hold of one, he definitely has some big power. So Cumbest getting the start in left field against the left-handed throwing Russell Smith.
So we have a guy in the tournament who was compared to Baker Mayfield as a quarterback, and then we got a guy who's actually still playing football at tight end.
There you go. Look at that big body and long swing. He's right on top of the plate as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that left foot is as close to the plate as he can get it, still being in the box.
So I like how Coach Lemonis called it. Well, he went from a tight end to big receiver.
There you go. Nope, did not swing according to first base umpire Will Thornwell. Close on the check, but Cumbest held up.
No score in the bottom of the second inning. Mississippi State, the home team in this game. And that got him looking, strike three. Good placement on that 91-mile-an-hour pitch. And Russell Smith strikes out the side. He's already got four, and we go to the bottom of the we finished the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. No score, 1-0.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Top of the third, Mississippi State leading 1-0 over TCU here at the 2021 State Farm College Baseball Showdown. Luke Boyers, Elijah Nunez, Tommy Sacco coming up for TCU. It's kind of confusing. TCU right down the street pretty much, and they're the visiting team, but we're kind of in a NCAA Tournament World Series format.
Yeah, it's really trying to give each team a number of home dugouts for the series. So I think the way they've scheduled the tournament here is Big 12 is kind of the host conference for the tournament. So TCU home team yesterday, visitor today, but we'll be back to home dugout tomorrow. And State was a visitor yesterday in their game against Texas, and they have the home dugout today.
An error scoring the run in the first inning. Error on the catcher for TCU.
Well, we've got a couple of former quarterbacks playing as well. Actually, one current. We saw John Reese Plumlee with Ole Miss yesterday. Came into the game late, finished the game for the Rebels. And then how about Luke Boyers, high school quarterback from Bernie? The way Coach Schloss describes him, very athletic, super confident, and a bit underdeveloped as a baseball player. Again, kind of the split loyalties between the two sports. And he said, boy, he's got a ton of upside, and quickness and speed is elite, but a little bit rough around the edges. So he's still kind of learning the game, but Coach Schloss giving him the start here in the 9-hole for the Horned Frogs.
Boyers yesterday 2 for 4 with a run scored, 2 strikeouts. Houston Harding on last-minute notice, the pitcher for Mississippi State. Left-hander kind of getting himself into a groove, and he'll come to the plate, and fly ball hit well to center field. Roddy Jordan going back and makes a catch.
Yeah, ball hit pretty well, but as we saw yesterday, Scott, a couple of balls hit to center field that just it is an absolute dungeon out there in center. 407 is the mark on the center field wall, but we saw a couple balls hit that we thought off the bat were going to get out in center field, and it must just take a monster moonshot to get it out of this park when the roof is closed.
Try being that batter who put your hands up in the air thinking it was going out of the ballpark, and then find out, nope.
Yeah, that was Arkansas hitter Christian Franklin, who absolutely hammered one.
Any other park, especially on the college level, it would have been out and probably 20 feet over the wall.
Yeah, and of course at Baum Field, his home field, I mean, right when he hit it, he put his arms up like, I got that one. I hit that on the barrel, and he really felt it was going. And great catch by Dylan Noisy out in center up against the wall. And then we saw a couple of balls that got pulled. Actually, a few balls in left field, right around that 372 mark. That seems to be the place if you're going to hit one. You've got to, as a right-hander, pull it into that left field power alley or gap.
So after the Nunez walk, Tommy Sacco is at the plate. Sacco walked his first time up. Houston Harding with 2 walks now. 1 ball, no strikes to Sacco.
Now, Nunez definitely a threat to run at first base. Really good speed, quickness, and now a timeout. This will bring Mr. Foxhall, the pitching coach for Mississippi State, out. for a visit with Houston Harding. You know, an emergency start situation, you're not as concerned with Houston Harding's pitch count, especially at this point. He has started games in the past and only at 44 pitches, so maybe more just a conversation about how to approach Sacco and how to keep Nunez close at first.
Yeah, those are just long conversation. I was looking in the right center field bullpen for Mississippi State. There was no movement other than just guys milling around.
Well, if you're TCU and looking at potentially putting a runner in motion here, you've got a couple options here. Sending Nunez on a straight steal or a hit and run with Sacco. That ball was thrown away. Good pick by Josh Hatcher at first base to save it from getting away and advancing Nunez. But Sacco really handles the bat well situationally, can bunt. Good gap type hitter, and see if TCU dials something up here offensively.
Count even at 1-1. 1-0 is the lead for TCU. They got a gift run on a steal by Sacco. He came home on an error on the catcher Logan Tanner.
Yeah, Harding is keeping Hatcher alive over there at first base. First baseman's ducking and diving for balls here on those pickoff attempts.
Two and one. TCU fans mostly on the left side today. That is the side of the Horned Frogs.
Now Sacco had a good fastball to hit there, kind of center cut. Just missed it. Let's see if Houston Harding goes back to that changeup. That's his premier pitch. There it was.
Sacco, known for his defensive prowess, has been outstanding at short. Named All ACCAC, All NJCAA Region 1 as a sophomore. Arizona Junior College All-Star team as well. Out of Gilbert, Arizona. That one a soft changeup, 72-mile-an-hour pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah, Harding went right back to his premier pitch and gets the swinging out. Well, he's gotten most of his strikeouts with that changeup.
Yes.
Really been a devastating pitch, and TCU not yet making the adjustment with it. You tell yourself as a hitter, especially with two strikes, don't be early on the off speed. And many times you tell yourself that, you see hitters still out in front of those off speed deliveries. And it's got to be the approach with Harding. If you're in a TCU uniform today, he's going to tend to stay middle away with that fastball. He's thrown a couple of fastballs inside just to straighten hitters up, but most of his outs have been recorded with that changeup, and he's been working the fastballs down and away from right-handers. Tough pitcher to try to pull. And Nunez advancing on the wild pitch.
Hunter Wolf at the plate. Lifts it in foul ground. The catcher over for a look, but that's going to go down below us, out of play.
And you saw Wolf there leaning out of the plate trying to reach that changeup that was on the outer half.
One ball, one strike to Wolf. 2 men are gone. TCU with the lead, 1-0, top of the third. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas.
Now Harding has Wolf set up to go hard in here, but problem with that is if you make a mistake on Hunter Wolf and you don't get the ball in, that's a high risk pitch. But see how Harding approaches Wolf with this pitch. There it is. Great confidence to throw the fastball in, and now he sets up the changeup away again. Or he can stay with the fastball. He can throw one, change his eye level. If you don't get him a chase, you can come back with the changeup.
One and two the count. A look at the runner at second. And here it comes. To the second baseman, Scotty DeBrule. And that ends the inning. And we go to the bottom of the third inning here in Arlington, Texas. TCU 1, Mississippi State 0. Bottom half of inning number 3 here in Arlington, Texas. You look at who's coming up. Landon Jordan, Rowdy Jordan, and Cameron James. Mississippi State is down by a score of 1-0. Stoccolotti along with Pat Combs. Glad to have you along. Made it through a long night last night, Pat. Getting some bugs out today, and should be a good day from here on out.
Well,
as Mississippi State is down 1-0, looking to get back in it.
It's a good day in North Texas when it's not freezing and snowing, and that's
for sure.
We are thankful that we woke up and saw most of that ice and snow melt away. And boy, there was some real concern earlier in the week as we were talking with coaches throughout the week that, you know, with travel conditions and just trying to get their teams here. And thankfully the Rangers were able to manipulate the schedule and get this tournament moved back a day. Of course, we'll be playing into tomorrow on Monday, but what a blessing it is to now have temperatures in the low 50s here in Texas, and people are thawing out. Still a few folks in North Texas without power and water, but at least the frozen stuff is gone.
Landon Jordan flies out to Hunter Wolf. One away here in the third inning. Rowdy Jordan coming up. He grounded out the third, his first time up. What a day Mr. Jordan had yesterday.
Well, had the one hit, but it was a big one. He barreled one up and got into the left field stands, and talked about a leadoff hitter who has really steadily improved in terms of plate discipline. Good slider there from Smith.
On one level, yeah, he only had one hit, but he had one hit.
Yeah, it was a big hit, no doubt. And we saw the power there. And, you know, you get that kind of pop out of the leadoff spot. That's just a bonus.
Right.
And he's got great wheels. You talk about how great a defensive center fielder he is. But he has steadily improved at the plate. Now earned that
Speed
leadoff
there.
spot. Yep. That was a slower curveball from Smith.
Yeah, it wasn't a change, but from what he's been throwing, it was a change.
Yeah. That's what Smith has done so far. He's really mixed his pitches well. He's thrown enough fastballs inside. Really keep the Bulldog hitters honest on the inner half of the plate. He's effectively used his off-speed pitches. We talk about that 4-pitch mix, and he has used them all.
On the ground to third, it's Shepard. 2 gone.
When Russell Smith is on, that's what you'll typically see, a lot of ground balls. I think it has a lot to do with that tilt on his pitch, and we've only seen the one ball up in the air so far. That was Landon Jordan, the leadoff hitter this inning, with the fly out to Hunter Wolf in center, and everything else has been either a K or a ground ball.
.82-mile-an-hour pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
He's got command of that slider today, and it's looking good.
Base is empty here in the third inning, bottom half. And that is in the air on the infield right side. It's playable with Rogers calling it off, and he makes the play. 1-2-3 goes Mississippi State. 4 straight retired by Russell Smith. And we go to the fourth. 1-0 TCU on Flow Sports.
We direct your attention to the awards as the Air Cap Company presents today's Texas Cap Shuffle. For TCU, the first baseman, number 16, James Wood.
Gene Wood, Austin Henry, Gray Rogers coming up for TCU, leading the game 1-0. They got a run in the first inning. A throwing error by the catcher Logan Tanner, trying to get Tommy Sacco, who was trying to steal third. He stole third and scored on the wild pitch, and that's where we stand. 1 run on no hits and an error for TCU. No runs, 1 hit and 2 errors for Mississippi State.
Well, you can see so far why Chris Lemonis and Scott Foxhall are so high with Houston Harding. You know, you consider all these power arms that Mississippi State has, and then to have a complement like Harding, you know, again, not overpowering with the fastball, but just a completely different look. from the left-hander and his changeup being his best pitch, you can kind of see some scenarios here where you've got the right-handed relievers throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, and you bring Harding in behind him, and it's just a completely different look for a team, especially if you've got some left-handers in the lineup. But Harding is equally as tough on right-handers with that sharp changeup he's got.
84-mile-an-hour pitch that stayed towards the batter. Lefty on lefty, made it tough for Wood. Ended up being a strike. 3-1. And a fastball outside. It's ball 4. So Gene Wood, who was aboard on that error on the shortstop to keep the inning alive in the first inning.
And the third walk given up by Harding. And when you're facing this TCU lineup, last thing you want to do is give freebies, and they can really take advantage of the free passes.
Yeah, you talked about freebies yesterday, and you don't want to do it against TCU. They love freebies.
Well, it comes with a lot of plate discipline. You know, you get clubs that have an offensive philosophy of being more aggressive and, you know, going after pitches, and you see a lot of pitches they'll swing out of the zone, and sometimes that works out. TCU's really more the exact opposite. They're very patient hitters.
In the air, hit well to right field. Allen going back. It goes over his head, and one hops the wall. On his way to third is Wood. He will stop on a double by Henry.
You know, just a great piece of hitting by Austin Henry. Again, one of those veterans in that TCU lineup, and you can see he gets the fastball away, stays up, out over the plate, just like a great hitter does. Henry strokes it for the double in that right center gap, just over the head of Tanner Allen. Well, he wants to finish his career strong here at TCU, and he is off to a fantastic start in 2021.
1 for 2 today after going 1 for 5 yesterday.
We got some action in the Mississippi State bullpen now. Looks like Brandon Smith up and throwing for the Bulldogs.
It's a good look at him.
I did that without binoculars. Are you impressed?
I'm doing this without binoculars.
That's a long way out to that right center bullpen.
Yes, it is. Well, you talk about center field being a dungeon. Right center field's not exactly a cakewalk either.
It is not. That's a deep poke. It goes from 374 to 410 pretty quick.
Well, it's weird because it juts out at 374 where the front part of the bullpen is, and then it goes to the 410 sign.
Yeah, this park plays small down the lines. You got 326 down the right field line. Goes out to 374 in that right center gap.
And 334 down the left field line. This is Cumbest on the run, and he makes a catch. The runners don't move. That's a key out right there by Houston Harding, inducing the shallow fly ball that the runner Wood could not score on.
Yeah, big out, especially with no outs here in the inning, and you get the fly ball to left field. It's too shallow for Gene Wood to try to advance on, and saw the strong throw in from Cumbest.
Zach Humphreys now the batter. Humphreys flew out to center his first time.
And Lemonis has got that walk like he's going to make the move, and I think he is getting ready to signal to the bullpen. And he will go. Yep. He says, "Is my guy ready?" Just got the okay from Scott Foxhall, and pretty solid outing from Houston Harding. Still will be responsible for the two base runners in Wood and Henry, but not bad for an emergency start. He woke up today not thinking he was going to be pitching, and he toes the rubber. Does a good job for the Bulldogs today.
And pitchers are used to anything, but It's pretty good when a guy's able to just wake up, find out he's starting. Okay, we're out there.
Let's go. Yeah, he probably woke up thinking at some point he was going to get into this series, but definitely not a start.
Right.
As we talked about, Will Bednar not able to make the start today, and hopefully he'll be okay for tomorrow for Mississippi State.
3 1/3 innings pitched, just one hit, allowed the run. It's an unearned run. The 2 runners aboard are his responsibility as well. 4 Ks on today to go along with 3 walks. 66 pitches also. 36 for strikes.
And now Brandon Smith will tow it up for the Bulldogs. And good story with Smith is a COVID freshman, meaning a sophomore year, but freshman eligibility. Underwent Tommy John surgery after last fall, and so he is healthy now, back on the rubber, and you'll see a sinking fastball, 88 to 92, that throws a lot of 2-seamers and has a good slider mix. So Smith healthy again and glad to be back out pitching in a big league ballpark here in this 2021 State Farm Showcase Tournament.
So one thing about him, a +2 seamer. Explain that to the folks.
Yeah, it just means he's got a really good heavy sinker and pretty good command of it. So he'll pitch off of that 2-seam fastball and slider delivery, kind of a high 3/4 arm slot, but a lot of sink to the fastball. So where the big velocity is kind of the sexy thing for that Mississippi State bullpen. We've seen Houston Harding upper 80s. You're going to see Brandon Smith with kind of an upper 80s, low 90s sinking fastball. Then behind these guys, you got a lot of pitchers in that pen that are mid to upper 90s.
Humphreys hit the plate. 0-1 to count to him. First and second the runners. Wood at third. Henry at second. 91 on the gun there. Taken for a ball. 1-1.
Well, State defense playing back. So if Zach Humphreys can hit a ground ball up the middle of the field, Bulldogs will concede the run. Still a lot of baseball left here in the top of the 4th.
Fastball up high. Ball 2, 2-1.
And the TCU offense has got to take advantage of these situations when they have runners in scoring position.
Yeah, you see the alignment right there. It's a great look right here by the Flo crew.
And that's not where Smith wants to play. Not up in the zone. But that really solid Mississippi State hitting lineup. They're going to put some runs on the board, so TCU will definitely want to take advantage of these opportunities.
3-1. 3-2. Another 92-mile-an-hour pitch. Humphreys couldn't catch up to it. Full count to him. Connor Shepard to follow. Top of the 4th inning. TCU, the designated visiting team, at the plate.
Well, Humphreys just got a piece of that fastball.
Yeah, he did.
Good arm side movement from Smith. You saw that ball look like it was pretty fat, middle of the plate, ends up on the hands of Zach Humphreys.
Well, you talked about how important the movement is for Smith. That's in the air, right side, should be playable. Hatcher And there's 2 gone. So they get a shallow fly ball to left and a pop out on the foul territory side on the right side.
Yeah, just not very good execution. A couple of pitches up in the zone, and you're trying to get on top of those pitches, especially when the infield's playing back. They're going to give you the run. And neither Rogers or Humphreys can come through in that fashion. So TCU now with 2 outs after getting 2 base runners on him, especially with that Austin Henry double to the gap.
Good fastball in there, a called strike.
And you see that good arm side run from Smith, and catchers will tell you there's pitchers that throw fast with high velo, sometimes straight, and there's pitchers that throw a heavy fastball, and that's what Smith does. He throws a heavy 2-sinking fastball, and catchers will tell you when it hits your glove it just feels different.
That's on the ground to Jordan, and Landon Jordan throws him out, and the side is retired. They get out of the jam. Good work by Brandon Smith to come out of the pen and keep things where they are. 1-0 TCU as we go to the bottom of the 4th on FloBaseball. Welcome back here to Globe Life Field, and you look at the turf as actually you're looking at the matchup, but the turf here looks like grass. They have dirt, not patches, and it's Shaw Sports B1K artificial turf. Building cost $1.1 billion, capacity 40,300. They're allowing 18,000 in the building. We saw good crowds yesterday. It's a good smattering of fans here today, and I say smattering because there aren't the large groups of fans that we had yesterday, but it is solid all the way around the ballpark.
Yeah, it really is. You see a lot of purple here on the third base side, and of course Mississippi State fans travel well. A lot of maroon on the right side, and it is just a tremendous atmosphere. Fans spread out throughout really the first couple of decks here at Globe Life Field. Great place to watch baseball of any sort. And first time they've held a college tournament here in this new ballpark. Of course, we talked about yesterday the Big 12 championship tournament will be moved here in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Rangers are excited about that.
Yeah, and I think they are as equally excited about having future college tournaments here as well. And of course, a lot of college baseball fans with their eyes on this tournament here this season and seeing how this goes, especially this Big 12 SEC matchup. That's always exciting. So you can make this an annual event. I'm sure the Rangers are thinking that direction.
Tanner Allen at the plate, lifts one to right field. Look, Rogers is there to make the catch, or Luke Boyers, excuse me.
Now fastball up in the zone. Tanner Allen got a pitch that he liked, but didn't quite get the barrel on it. It's just inside on him, and Boyer's able to run it down pretty easily.
Landon Jordan now the batter. Jordan struck out.
With Logan Tanner.
Logan Tanner, I'm sorry.
4-hole hitter, yep.
Yeah, Logan Tanner, the batter. Tanner, disciplined at the plate. Lifts one in the air. The catcher Humphreys underneath it, puts it away. Quickly 2 gone here in the Mississippi State 4th.
Yeah, Russell Smith just really locked in, the big lefty for TCU. And as we talked about early on, looked like he had all of his pitches working and just a great mix. Really kept this Bulldog lineup off balance. Great command so far as well. No walks, 4 punch outs on the day, and pitch count really low at this point. Only 48 pitches into this 4th inning.
Well, if you keep throwing strikes and getting them to swing and miss, it's going to make things a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, and we talked about just the matchup between this heavily dominant left-handed Bulldog lineup, and Smith has really controlled it well.
Sharply hit, but Rogers gets it and throws over to first in time, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 goes Mississippi State. We go to the 5th inning. 1-0 TCU on FloBaseball.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the video board for today's FloBaseball trivia.
Okay.
Leading off for TCU, the right fielder, number 45, Luke Warriors. The left fielder, number 1, Elijah Nugent.
Players like Hatcher, Allen and Jordan back, who they felt like would not have been here had it been a normal draft year. They would have all been drafted and signed, but that's what's happening in college baseball, this compression of talent. When Major League Baseball did what they did coming off the COVID year, and a lot of returning talent to college level that were not expected to play this year. So this is made for some great games here in this tournament, we're already seeing that there's numerous players who we probably would have seen playing professionally that would not have been on this roster this year, or these rosters, and now all of a sudden they are backed up at the college level big time.
Brandon Smith came on in relief, got a pair of outs to get out of a first and second nobody out jam after the starter Houston Harding got a fly out off the bat of Gray Rogers. So 2 gone now as Nunez retired. Tommy Sacco coming up. He walked and struck out. First strikeout for Smith. .83-mile-an-hour pitch. Is that what you call the heavy fastball?
Yeah, I don't think that was. That looked like something off speed. Maybe take.
You might be right. That was
sinker.
91.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been a changeup. Didn't have any break to it. More arm side run, but that was a typically you see a changeup about anywhere from 8 to 12 miles an hour off the fastball.
2 balls and a strike to Sacco. Two and two. Was hitting just over 300 when the season ended a year ago. And Coach Schlossnagle says if we get any kind of hitting out of him, it's a luxury because he's a defender.
Yeah, no doubt.
And a swing and a miss. 79-mile-an-hour changeup. And the side is retired. 2 strikeouts for Brandon Smith. So Mississippi State trailing 1-0. They will have Luke Hancock, Scotty DeBrule, and Brad Cumbest coming up. 1-0 on Flow Sports.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Well, right on cue, the Whataburger sign out in the outfield. Makes you hungry every time you see it. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 5, Hancock, followed by DeBrule and Cumbest for Mississippi State, the home team. 1-0 in favor of TCU. Way back in the first inning, it was an error on a throw. Tommy Sacco tried to steal third and did. The throw by Logan Tanner went into left field, and scoring on the play was Sacco, and that's all we've got so far. After all the hitting, after all the big hits, after all the RBIs that we saw yesterday, Pat,
Hitting off for the Bulldogs,
the only run we've seen today
number 20,
wasn't by benefit of a hit.
Hancock.
Yeah, a little sloppy first inning for State. The alarm clock didn't ring on their defense this morning. That is exactly right. Yeah, we saw a lot of action yesterday, and on a day that we didn't think we would, with the type of pitching we expected to see. But yeah, I am not complaining with the pitcher's duel early on today. This has been enjoyable.
Yes, it has. No, the game's been good. It's just surprising that we haven't had any hits for runs. An error scored a run, so that was the only thing that I was going at. But yeah, it's just great being in this ballpark and watching this action.
Really is. Yep. What an atmosphere. And you know, I know the fans have been looking forward to this. A lot of folks have had this date circled for a very long time. Not only is it opening weekend, yesterday opening day for college baseball, but you know, just to think about the competition and playing in an indoor facility here, which really was a godsend when you consider the weather that North Texas had
Right.
this week. This good chance this tournament might have been canceled had it been scheduled for the old ballpark.
Yes.
At Globe Life Park.
There's no way they would have played this tournament if it was outdoors.
Yeah, so we are so thankful, and the Rangers have been incredible hosts. Looking forward to this tournament for many years coming. Well, that big 6'9" guy from TCU is a big part of the reason why we haven't seen any runs from the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He has controlled this lineup extremely well today.
Just getting a piece of it was Hancock, who struck out his first time up. Oh for 1 today on the young season. Hancock 2 for 5. In the air, foul.
Bulldog dugout starting to make some noise. Another good pitch inside on the hands, and Hancock keeps the at-bat alive.
Well, every time Hancock gets a piece of one, they give him a cheer.
Well, it's worthy of a cheer. State has not barreled up many balls against Smith so far, so.
See, there they go again.
Yeah, making them work.
Goes right towards where they're cheering, as they're saying, hey, keep it up, keep it up. You'll get it eventually.
Yeah, a little more spirit in that dugout. It was pretty dead for the first 4 innings or so.
I was just going to mention before we realized who it was, and there's a base hit.
Yeah,
See, all that fouling off pays off. What an at-bat indeed. Hancock leads off with a single. But I was going to say, it seemed like more fans came into the stands, but it was a team making a noise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that hit will get the fans going as well. But
the second baseman, number
outstanding
3,
at bat by Luke Hancock. Just kept fouling off pitch after pitch, and finally gets one he can handle. Leadoff single. A lot of signs given down at third base, and see if State will have Scotty DeBrule bunting here.
Hit number 2 for Mississippi State, by the way. Each team had 1 going into the inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 TCU.
You know, TCU checking first base, but more so to see if DeBrule would give up a potential sac bunt. Did not square there, so he's, and there it is, just a late square. So good job by DeBrule not to give that bunt attempt away on that first pitch. But Smith still throws a strike.
Mississippi State had 7 guys retired by Smith prior to that hit. They had 2 men on board in the second inning. Hatcher and DeBrule.
Humphrey signals in, fastball in. Yep.
That could be 2. They go to second one. Rogers relay not in time. But Shepard started it, throwing over to Gray Rogers. And they get the 5-4 force. Brad Cumbest coming up.
So Zach
The left
Humphrey
fielder,
signaled,
number
put that at
33,
1.
Brad
Smith threw a
Cumbest.
slider, and DeBrule showing you just how fast he is getting down the line. And Connor Shepard to Gray Rogers for 1, but Rogers could not return it to Wood in time. Couple of good sliders by Russell Smith in that last sequence against DeBrule, and well, that has been a knockout pitch today for him. He's really had great command of that, used it to get ahead. And he's thrown some fastballs inside just like he did there with Brad Cumbest, and I think that one struck a fan. Maybe she got her hands on it on the Mississippi State side. Smith struck out Cumbus in his previous at bat, worked him away, and then threw that fastball inside that locked him up.
Out of back.
Yeah, good change up there. Cumbus out in front.
It's got to be tough on the hitters when you're behind on all these pitches, then all of a sudden you get ahead of one and it doesn't work out.
Well, that's that combination. I mean, he's just had, you know, every pitch working today, and there's another strikeout on the inside corner.
92 on that pitch.
Cumbus not agreeing with that call, but when you paint the glove, and Humphreys didn't move it.
The third baseman, number 9,
an outstanding pitch by Russell Smith.
Jordan.
Yeah, look at that placement right there.
Yep. And he stuck the pitch, and Humphreys gets his glove underneath it. You're going to get that call pretty much 9 times out of 10.
Little token throw over to first base. Defense, Wood at first, Rogers at second, Sacco at short, Shepard at third, Nunez in left, Wolf in center, Boyers in right, Humphreys behind the home plate, Smith on the hill.
Well, Smith not with a great move to first base, but doing a good job keeping DeBrule close. I'm sure Chris Lemonis would love to get him in a scoring position. Give Landon Johnson a chance at tying this game up, but Smith doing a good job holding DeBrule.
No balls, 1 strike. You were talking about the command of Smith. I mean, he just looks so comfortable out there. Out of play. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. And being ahead of the batters makes it so. Well, I shouldn't even assume this. You being the pitcher, how key is it to really be ahead of the batters?
Well, I think you just look at the batting averages that drop when you work ahead. You know, I think it's strike 1, batting averages drop to somewhere around 220. You know, this is all major league averages. And when you get to 2 strikes, 0-2 counts, batting averages go down to 170. And DeBrule on the run.
And Aaron throw goes into center field, and he's going to go to third. And he's going to try to score. No, he's not. He holds at the last moment. He started to think about it and then thought better of it.
There was a ball down in the dirt, and Humphreys didn't make a good throw to second. It was errant. And then you had a bobble in center field by Hunter Wolf, who was trying to pick up a rolling ball. That almost cost TCU the lead. But there's the errant throw from Zach Humphreys. It actually hit DeBrule, looks like in the leg or the foot. Ray Rogers not able to corral it after it got away, and that'll be a wild pitch followed by an E2.
Actually, they're calling it a stolen base.
Well, usually when the ball gets away from the catcher, they don't give you a straight steal, so that was interesting.
So we'll have to double check to see if they change it, but the official scoring shows stolen base.
Yeah, that ball definitely got away from Humphreys, so DeBrule was not running on the pitch.
No, I didn't think so. I'm just surprised that they're showing stolen base up there.
Two great catches today. How about that?
Fans are busy today making catches.
That's a Texas fan sitting on the TCU side. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Nice
Good
slider.
pitch there by Russell Smith, and he keeps Mississippi State at bay, getting Landon Jordan. So Smith another K, and we have gone 5 innings. Get a good look here of the final pitch, a swing and a miss. 1-0 TCU on Flow Sports.
Presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah, if the chicken in the chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies, all on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited-time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
Good look at one of the boards here at Globe Life Field. What a facility for baseball, and the Rangers already had an outstanding facility in Globe Life Park, formerly known as the ballpark of Arlington. And I'll tell you what, just crown jewels up and down the street as you got AT&T Stadium next door. And there's the weather here in Arlington, Texas. 62 degrees, cloudy, with wind at 15 miles an hour. That's outside.
Right?
Inside, well, of course, it's perfect, 72 degrees.
Exactly right.
Chuck Morgan, the longtime PA guy for the Rangers, first thing he said when we got here this morning.
Could not have ordered up a better day. And it didn't matter to us because we are inside. But the families of North Texas who have struggled with this week of crazy weather are thankful that they've got 60-degree temperatures and the ice and snow has melted away. And soon, hopefully, the rest of North Texas will have power and water restored. But it has been one crazy week outdoors.
Hunter Wolf, the batter. TCU holding on to that 1-0 lead. They have 1 hit, 2 errors, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Mississippi State, leaving a man at third in the bottom of the 5th. We're in the 6th, and Wolf smashes it foul down the line.
Well, Scott, we were without power for 3 days, Sunday through Wednesday, and I think it was probably the coldest day of my life, trying to huddle up with my my bride and trying to keep each other warm with just a fire going in the living room. But it was cold in the house. I bet it would get down to about 30 degrees.
Base hit for Wolf to lead off the inning. We've already seen the
first baseman,
base running by TCU. It was a double steal with Sacco and Gene Wood that forced the throwing error by Logan Tanner. And what it does, Schlossnagel's told us, we may not necessarily steal a lot of bases, but we're going to create chaos, and we're going to see what happens with the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, no doubt, very aggressive on the base paths, and TCU hitters are taught how to handle the bat situationally. And if you're going to play for a Horned Frog lineup, you've just got to learn how to hit in those situations.
Foul ground. Hatcher over for a look, but it's way into the seats.
Yeah, both Hunter Wolf and Gene Wood, definitely a couple of players that in a normal draft year would not have been back to TCU. And Coach Schloss happy to have both of those in his lineup, as well as Zach Humphreys, his catcher. Humphreys surely would have been signed and gone. No doubt Tommy Sacco will be a potential high round pick this year.
Good look at the runner over first. Wolf being held on by Hatcher. And gets a throw. Pretty good look over there in terms of the move, but back to the bag easily was Hunter Wolf. A 1-0 ball game as we are here in the top of the 6th inning.
Coach Schloss and his staff, Bill Mosiello, third base coach, and Kirk Sarlos as pitching coach. Those guys don't rebuild their program, they just reload. It seems like they have some of the top recruiting classes every season. Of course, Chris Lemonis has done an incredible job in his 3 seasons at Mississippi State. Talked about the quality of arms, but up and down that lineup. My early thought on that is, just after seeing State for a day and actually a game and a half now, is they're going to be a tough team in the SEC. I would expect Mississippi State to make a deep run. TCU for sure out of the Big 12. Texas Tech, who got beat by Arkansas last night, I think has a good shot to win the Big 12.
Well, you saw the runner going right there as Wolf went, but it was ball 4. Now it's first and second.
The designated hitter, number 3,
There's a look at Chris Lemonis.
Henry.
You got to love the story of Chris Lemonis as well. Started his college career at the Citadel, where he played. Him and Dan McDonnell, who is the head coach at Louisville, both of those coaches went on to Louisville to help rebuild that program. And then Chris Lemonis was rewarded with a head coaching job at University of Indiana. And
Austin Henry, the batter for TCU. Henry doubled his last time up as you look at Chris Lemonis.
And I love what Lemonis told us. You know, his very first visit when he became head coach of the Bulldogs was when Mississippi State was returning from the College World Series 3 seasons ago. And after he was hired, he actually met the team bus at the facility just after they were returning from Omaha. He said, man,
yeah, how about that story?
Yeah, tough time to talk to his team about, you know, your excitement to take over the program when you had a bunch of guys who had just spilled their blood and guts in Omaha and on a losing, you know, flight and bus trip back to the complex.
That one gets away, and here come the runners, and look at that. You want chaos. He takes that big turn, does Wolf, but holds over third. Wild pitch, second and third, but when Schlossnagle says, well, we're creating chaos, the first thing that Wolf did, instead of looking at the third base coach, he was looking at it as if he was coming home, and then he stopped.
Yeah, just a strong turnaround third, and you know, just checking to see if Logan Tanner made a clean pickup there after the wild pitch. Tanner did, and Brandon Smith had covered home plate, so nowhere to go. But yeah, just again, good, strong, aggressive base running by the Frogs. Put himself in a good spot here to add to this lead. No outs, an advantage count for Austin Henry. Mississippi State bullpen up and at it again.
In the air, that will go foul. Bounds into one of the picnic areas.
A good fastball by Smith, just bared in on the hands of Austin Henry. So evens the count.
Forrester down in the bullpen for Mississippi State.
In the same situation the Frogs had back in the 4th when Gray Rogers and Zach Humphreys both popped out with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. And again, the same situation here with Austin Henry. Bulldog defense playing back. They'll concede the run if he can hit the ground ball.
Skewed off the bat, that will score a run. It'll be flipped by the first baseman Hatcher to the pitcher, but the run scores. 3-1 on the putout. It's an RBI for Austin Henry, and it's a 2-0 lead for TCU. Scoring on the play, Hunter Wolf, taking third, Gene Wood.
The second baseman, number 28.
Well, great at bat by
Rogers.
Austin Henry, and just a very unselfish at bat. You know, when you see that infield back, you've got a chance to pick up the RBI, and as a hitter, you've just got to be going up there with that approach that no matter where the pitch is thrown, I'm going to get this ball on the ground. All I got to do there is keep it away from the pitcher. And Henry does just that, picks up the big second run for TCU. And now Mississippi State will draw the infield in against Gray Rogers. So now the approach, if you're a hitter, changes to lift the ball, get it to the outfield. Outfield, of course, playing regular depth.
Big fastball there, swing and a miss. Right now, TCU, with the way their starter Russell Smith is pitching, with a 2-0 lead, that almost seems like 5-0.
Yeah, it does. And you just got to start to think about now how much more does Smith have in the tank. And of course, Coach Schloss probably not wanting to stretch him out first start of the season. It's one thing to have the first start going, but then also hearing from all these coaches last week that really could not get their players on the field the entire week for any practices outdoors. Pitchers and hitters were working inside in tunnels, but that's a week removed from facing live competition. So definitely that's got to be a thought for all these pitching staffs, is how many pitches do you allow your starters to go?
No, and that's the thing. I just looked. He's already at 73.
Yeah. I'm sure Smith will lobby him. He's locked in right now. He'll lobby as much as he can to stay out there, but you also have to look down the fact there's a lot of season left. Good fastball, catches the outside corner.
Yeah, Brandon Smith has slowed down a little bit for good reason. The infield up, runner at third. Got Gene Wood over at third, only one out. Run across already for TCU in the sixth.
Just missed with that slider down. Couldn't get Rogers to chase. Count goes full. See what Smith challenges Rogers with here.
A lot of souvenirs for the fans today so far.
Yeah, got the fastball away, and Rogers late on it.
That's up high for ball four. Good at bat. And another walk. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Brandon Smith.
The catcher, number 10, Zach Humphreys.
Zach Humphreys now coming up. Humphreys flew out to center, popped out the first.
Well, State defense now will put their middle infield in double play depth.
Two runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for TCU. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Mississippi State. Top of the 6th.
Humphreys with decent speed for a catcher, but it's a sharp ground ball. It gives State a chance here. They're guessing bunt.
He didn't bunt. It's a ground ball up along short. They go to second one, back to first, and they pull the double play.
Wow.
How
That
about
is a real
that?
close play. Yeah, they're going to challenge that, I believe. Schlossnagle is going to challenge that call, and he is not happy with first base umpire Will Thornwell, but that was a bang play at first. Let's see what yeah, it looks like he was safe at first base. They're going to get an overturn here, and I think TCU is going to have their third run of the board.
I lost count on how many challenges we had yesterday.
Too many.
I'm going to say at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, that third game when it was just kind of dragging on, I think we had 3 within 2 innings.
You're right.
Yeah, they're going to bring the State defense out, and this is an official challenge coming out of the TCU dugout. And for good reason. I think Jim Schlossnagle is going to win this one pretty easily. At least what we saw in our replay.
Yeah, we saw it on the board, so it
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous play is under review.
Yeah, it was a sinking line drive off the bat of Humphreys, and it was a good pickup and turn up the middle between Cameron James and Scott DeBrule, and DeBrule got rid of the ball quick to Josh Hatcher, and Humphreys just flat beat the throw.
Look at it right there. And here.
Yeah, that foot's on the back. Yeah, you can see that foot hits the front of the bag right there. He's safe. That's a pretty easy overturn. But what was interesting on that, Scott, Landon Jordan, the third baseman from Mississippi State, came crashing in, almost expecting bunt from Zach Humphreys, and Humphreys did not square at all. He was first pitch swinging.
Another look at it. We'll see from this angle. Slow it down there.
That looks closer on that angle, doesn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
It actually looked pretty close on the first angle, but yeah.
Yeah, that looks closer there on that replay, but they are going to call him out. Wow. Well, it looked entirely different on that first replay, but
After video
that
review,
play
the
is
call
going to
of the
stand.
field
And I was
stands.
wrong.
Well,
TCU
you
will
know
not have the third
why?
run.
Under this circumstance, I think they have to have definitive ruling to overturn it.
Well, they
And
did.
now
That's
we direct
apparently
your
that's
attention
after
to the
looking at it
video
a couple of
board for
different
today's running of
angles.
the
And
original
a
Major
great
League
job by the
Conference,
FloSports camera
presented by
angles on that
Golden
particular
Tick.
play, and
Make your pick now. Red,
that
blue,
ruling
or
stands. So
green.
TCU will not score the
It
third run.
is a
That ends the
three-lap
inning, so we
feature
go
dot
to the
com.
bottom of the
Reminder,
sixth.
this is an
TCU
exhibition.
gets a run. They up their
No
lead,
wagering,
2-0
please.
TCU over
Make
Mississippi
your pick
State.
now. Red, blue, or green. And the dots are off.
Gotcha.
At the finish line, it's red, blue, green.
Welcome back here to the State Farm College Baseball Showdown on FloBaseball, Flo Sports. Scott Colletti along with former Major League pitcher Pat Combs, and we are happy to have you along. A bang play that didn't quite go TCU's way. We both thought, well, they were going to overturn it. They didn't, and that might turn out to be huge in terms of later in the game, because that prevented a run from scoring with a man on third. But Mississippi State dodges one right there. Now they have the top of the order with Rowdy Jordan, Cameron James, and Tanner Allen.
Well, certainly worth the replay. You can't fault Jim Schlossnagel for doing it.
And there's a blast to left center field. That's hit well. Wolf going back. It's out of here. Rowdy Jordan gets rowdy again. And it's 2-1 TCU.
Yeah, I think we can remove that moniker sneaky pop. This kid has pop. I mean, he's just flat out
he is
has power.
explosive.
Yeah, no doubt. Out of that leadoff spot for the Bulldogs, and he puts them on the board, cuts the lead in half with one swing.
No, that was no doubter for Rowdy Jordan.
How about two home runs in successive days?
In the air off the bat of Cameron James. That's the shallow center, calling off the second baseman Rogers as Wolf, and he makes a catch.
Yeah, Chris Lemonis calls Rowdy Jordan, the spark plug at the top, and he certainly does. He put a charge into that one.
Yeah, he blasted it.
TCU bullpen makes the catch. Hunter Wolf gave it a valiant effort. You can see with the wall in left center here, it actually jets down a little bit. They lose a couple of feet of wall. right there where the bullpen is, and you'll see some outstanding catches up and over the fence by outfielders in that section, but that ball was about 5 or 6 feet beyond where Hunter Wolf could reach it.
Two balls, no strikes to Tanner Allen, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to right his last time up in the 4th. That's a strike. 91-mile-an-hour pitch. There is work up in the bullpen. We were talking about the pitch count getting up there.
Well, Smith has not lost much. You know, Scotty, started the game, he was probably 92, 93. Maybe he has lost a tick on his fastball, but now you start to question the command. Got the ball up out of the plate to Rowdy Jordan, and that's the first walk he'll issue to Tanner Allen.
Marcelo Perez out in the bullpen. So Tanner Allen aboard, representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
You know, Zach Humphreys out to slow the game down a bit. Wood and Shepard join him at the mound, and probably more an issue of getting their bullpen a few more warm-up pitches if needed. And a chance to get let Smith recollect himself. And
yeah, I believe Perez just started warming up not too long ago, so they're going to try to buy some more time for him.
Yeah, now the righty-lefty combination in the pen working for TCU. And it looks like we're going to get the change here now. Schlossnagel out of the dugout for the Horned Frogs.
82 pitches for Smith, so you got to think he didn't have much left anyway, and he looks like he's trying to bargain right here and say, come on, coach.
Yeah, 3rd time around the lineup as well. First start of the season. It's been an outstanding effort from Russell Smith. There's a couple things you think about as a coach here making a change. One is Smith is pitched extremely well. Second thing is you don't want him walking away with a loss. You know, you have a runner for State at first base. You want Smith walking off the field thinking, hey, not only did I have a good outing, great stuff today, but also good results from it. And so TC will make the change.
Russell Smith with 6 strikeouts and 1 walk in 5 1/3.
You got it right, Scott. Marcelo Perez will join the party here for the Frogs.
Well, I got right who the guy warming up at the time was. I didn't guess out of the 2. We didn't see 2 on the picture.
Well, Perez, he can close games. He may be looked upon for that role this year more often as the season progresses, and here he's going to get a chance to close this one as well, coming into the 7th inning. But he has been really good in that closer role. You see a fastball 93 to 96, touch 97 in the fall. Slider changeup. He's also started some games for TCU in the past, but he's really made himself comfortable in this late inning role.
(2019) honorable mention All Big 12, 2019 Big 12 All Freshman team. So got a lot of talent.
Yeah, he throws hard, and slider has gotten better since he's arrived at TCU, and changeup is really an improved pitch for him.
Yeah, that's what Coach was telling us the other day.
Yeah, Kirk Sarlo said it's you know, when he got here it was just kind of a show me pitch, but now it's become an out pitch. But he'll pitch off the fastball, mid-90s, and obviously a different look than the big, tall left-handed Smith. Perez coming in at 5'10", 180, so he's only given up about 11 inches to Russell Smith.
That's all. That's almost a foot. Wow.
Hey, you went from your center to your shooting guard here on the mound.
Logan Tanner 0 for 2 today, struck out, popped out to the catcher. A home run by Rowdy Jordan. Cameron James flew out to center, and a walk to Tanner Allen here in the inning. Bottom of the 6th. TCU with a run across in the top half. 2-1 TCU leads. But Mississippi State, they've got the offense to make noise as well. Slider outside. One ball, no strikes.
Yeah, a couple of fastballs just missing away, and you don't want to walk Tanner to face Hatcher with runners in scoring position. See what Perez does to get back into the count. Here's the fastball center cut.
93 on the gun. Those three have looked pretty good, and he can get to 96. So very impressive for Perez. 2-1 to count with the runner first. Smash that hard, but foul.
Well, Perez sticking with the fastball to even the count, and now you might see the slider after 4 straight fastballs.
Logan Tanner, an outstanding catcher, a cannon for an arm, and a power hitter as well.
They just pulled it. Now full count. You're going to expect to, if you're Logan Tanner, you're sitting dead red here. See if you can get a fastball to handle.
Wood holding on the runner. Allen a modest lead. On the ground to short, could be 2. Sacco to Rogers to Wood. It's as easy as 6-4-3 double play for TCU to end the inning. And it starts with Tommy Sacco. Outstanding job by a smooth shortstop. Just made it look easy. Flipped over to Rogers. Rogers to Wood. Inning over. A run on a homer. And we go to the 7th inning. 2-1 TCU on Flow TV. Flow Baseball content available on your TV. The Flow Sports app on Roku, Fire TV, Chromecast, and Apple TV. Download it today to catch all the live action of archive footage of today's event. Make sure you get the Flow Sports app, and you can be watching all day long. We're watching baseball all day long, Mr. Combs.
Could not be in a better spot, and man, super enjoying it. New pitcher for Mississippi State.
Move along to the 7th inning. TCU will have Connor Shepard, Luke Boyers, and Elijah Nunez.
Look at Jackson Forrester finishing up his warm-up pitches.
So Forrester, the new pitcher. Originally, Will Bednar was supposed to start, and he ended up not making the call today. Forrester, 88-91 fastball last year with a good curveball in the fall.
Yeah, a lot of energy with that high leg kick, a little bit of funk to his windup.
Shepard flew out the center and grounded out.
Yeah, changeup that went about 42 feet. Saw home plate umpire Michael Banks. He looked like he was going to dive into the dirt for a second. He's laughing. I think he and Logan Tanner are having a good time talking about that one. Good sinking fastball and gets the called strike from Banks.
I guess once upon a time they used to call that a knee-high fastball, but you don't get many calls at the knees anymore. But
yeah, yep. It looked like it was sinking hard down and away. Benefit of that call. And Forrester tries to finish him up top.
Solid 90-mile-an-hour pitch, speed-wise, not quite where he wanted it. You mentioned Michael Banks, Will Thornwell, the first base ump, Chris Koski at second, and John Brammer at third.
Yeah, veteran Big 12 crew.
In the air to left field, Cumbest toward the line has a play.
Yep, Cumbest is going to track down those fly balls just like he does footballs in the fall for Mississippi State. Big left fielder getting the start today.
Yeah, I still can't get over Chris Lemonis's comment about, well, he went from a tight end to a big receiver.
There you go. He's a big one. And they went from that pro set offense to Mike Leach's air raid offense. And so when you're a tight end, you either say, well, I'm probably done here, or you convert, as Cumbest has done, become a big slot receiver. That's a big target to throw to.
Yes, it is. Elijah Nunez, the batter, struck out his last time up. 0 for 2 with a walk. That was John DeLaura in your screen, volunteer assistant. Three and 1 to count. 2-1 in favor of TCU. Top of the 7th inning.
Well, big high hopes for Elijah Nunez, freshman All-American candidate, leadoff hitter for the Frogs. Local product out of Arlington Martin High School, but he is going to be an electric player. That missed wildly.
Elijah Nunez coming up as Boyers walks. So we mentioned Nunez 0 for 2 with a walk. Boyers now 0 for 2 with a walk as well. No balls and 1 strike. Day 2 action on what would have been day 3. We have day 3 tomorrow. There's a liner over the head of the second baseman, DeBrule, in the right center field. Allen, a good job getting a jump on the ball. He'll throw it to the relay man, and on the throw, they're going to give Nunez a double more than likely. Second and third with 1 out for TCU.
I don't know, Scott, if you could see Nunez out of the box, but that kid can fly. He hit the bag at first base, and he got to second in a real big hurry. What an athlete at the top of this Frog lineup.
See the smash there. It was a good play by Allen. He was quick on the ball to make your point, Pat, as getting into second very quickly was Nunez. A double to right center with Boyers going to third. Infield up now for TCU. They got out of it with a 6-4-3 double play on a withheld call, I should say, not overturned. Saw so many overturns yesterday.
Yeah,
it was
right?
embedded in my mind.
Well, yet another chance for TCU to add to their lead. They did so last inning in the 6th. Now timeout with Logan Tanner trying to get on the same page with his reliever, Jackson Forrester. Sometimes you come out of the pen, you're not quite sure which system you're using with runners on second. So Tanner gaining some clarity with Forrester and back at it.
Boyers at third. Nunez at second.
Mississippi State defense now playing halfway at short, trying to cut this run off, and rest of the infield playing in. So if you're Tommy Sacco, you're really looking to lift something to the outfield. Give Boyers, a very athletic runner at third base, a chance to score. Won't take a deep fly ball. Even something shallow may work with Boyers' speed at third base.
Tommy Sacco at the plate. Dangerous man at the plate. More dangerous at short, but this is a situation for him to shine. Second and third. Infield up.
That should work.
Allen called off by Jordan. Rowdy Jordan will throw it to the relay man on the infield, so a run does score. Sac fly by Sacco, and TCU ups its lead. So 3-1 now to score.
Mississippi State fan thinking, well, why didn't Rowdy Jordan make a throw to home plate? And that's just because of the speed of the base runner Boyers at third base. That's just a veteran play by Jordan in the outfield, knowing what kind of speed he had at third. So instead he'll throw to third base and cut Elijah Nunez off from trying to advance. But that shallow fly ball gets the next run in. So that's 3 on the board for TCU, and they get that run right back that they gave up.
And a wild pitch sets up another run. Although they don't have the benefit of a sac fly now. But now you're the catcher, Logan Tanner. You got to be doubly playing defense, making sure a ball doesn't go by you.
A couple of times this game that Logan Tanner's had some really tough sliders in the dirt. Not able to handle it. That one looked like he tried to pick it backhanded and couldn't come up with it.
Hit well, but in the air foul. 3-1 TCU. Each team with 3 hits, each team with 2 errors. One and two. 89-mile-an-hour pitch. Looked a little confused on it.
Well, Wolf went chasing up. It's pitch he has had trouble with this tournament. Chased a number of high fastballs, and there it is again.
There's a fastball, 89-mile-an-hour pitch, and Wolf not happy. But TCU does get another run as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time in Arlington, Texas. It is 3-1 TCU over Mississippi State.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah. If the chicken in a chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies, all on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited-time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Now back at Globe Life Field, bottom of the 7th inning. Horned Frogs added to the lead. Now at 3-1. Mississippi State with Josh Hatcher, Luke Hancock, Scott DeBrule here in the bottom of 7.
Yeah, we'll see how big that run for TCU was in the top half of the inning after the big home run by Rowdy Jordan got Mississippi State back in the game. TCU pitching very, very good. Marcelo Perez came on in relief and got what he needed. It's going to be out of play.
That ball was pounded opposite field by Hatcher, flashing some pop. That ball, if it's fair, gets out of here.
Yeah. Hatcher, center field, pretty well hit, but right there's the center fielder Wolf to put it away.
It looked like a breaking ball down that just kind of hung out over the plate and tried to backdoor that slider. Caught a little bit too much of that plate 0-2.
Luke Hancock, the batter. Struck out, single to right. Oh, no. Thought that was low, but there's that knee-high strike again.
Yeah, good slider down in the zone.
One and one. Marcelo Perez out of Laredo, Texas. Out of play.
And fastball gets inside on Hancock, and see that good arm side movement off the release of Perez, and this is a really live fastball. High spin rate. Wow. And he paints the outside corner with it 94.
Down goes Hancock for his second strikeout. He's 1 for 3 now. So Perez gets a strikeout. Scotty DeBrule coming up. Cool thing about Perez, member of Mexico's 2012 Little League World Series team.
There you go. Yeah, that fastball down in the zone, it's really deceptive. You know, that fastball really holds its plane well, and that's what happens when you see a higher spin rate type of a fastball. To a hitter's eye, it looks like it's going to sink out of the zone. It just holds its plane all the way through the strike zone.
Bottom of the 7th, 2 gone. TCU with a 3-1 lead. DeBrule down the line sharply foul.
He's got that slider working, boys. Starting him down and away and breaking it towards the middle of the plate. That time it's down the middle, kind of sink down and in. Just good command of that pitch.
Mississippi State beat Texas 8-3 yesterday on the ground foul, but running into a pitching staff, and more in particular a starting pitcher in Russell Smith, who just shut him down.
Yeah, been the best start we've seen so far in the tournament, Scott, and he had it all working today, did Smith, and really kept that Bulldog lineup off balance. A lot of off-speed pitches to start counts. Really effectively used his fastball in and out today. Commanded both sides really well.
Perez keeping it around 93. That one was 93. And that's out of play on the left side.
Well, DeBrule doing a good job of spoiling some good pitches, and that's exactly what you have on and what you get with DeBrule. He will work pitchers.
Out of play again.
Yeah, he's just an advanced approach at the plate. He has found a lot of barrels so far in this young season, but hit over 300 each of his seasons as a transfer from Jacksonville University. And that ball gets stuck.
A fastball at 94 that just froze him, and he sprints to the dugout. Outstanding work by Marcelo Perez. As it's a 1-2-3 inning, we go to the 8th. It is TCU 3, Mississippi State 1. Welcome back here to Globe Life Field as we are up in the booth. Scott Coletti along with Pat Combs. Glad to have you along as you get a good look. We are not even as high as it goes. You look to the left part, that's the main press area. All the suites down below us, and just a magnificent ballpark here. 1 year old. About to start its second major league season, and we're just happy to be here today. Hunter Wolf, followed by Gene Wood and Austin Henry coming up. New pitcher into the game for Mississippi State. That is Cole Alford, number 38 out of Macomb, Mississippi, North Pike Senior High School. So we'll see what Mr. Alford can do to keep TCU further at bay, trailing 3-1 against TCU. And TCU with the meat of the lineup coming up, the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Wolf, Wood, and Henry. So Alford, left-hander.
I believe first appearance in a Bulldog uniform for Alford. You work your way through that Mississippi State bullpen, and as a freshman get a chance to come in. Great opportunity for Cole Alford.
So you grind through a tournament like this, Pat, and then you get on to the next week, and hopefully nothing happens that deters the season. But if everything goes well, that's off the glove of Hatcher. And a base hit on a sharp smash by Wolf. He just blazed that one. And he's aboard.
Pounded. Yeah. Yeah, Hatcher did a good job over at first base, just knocked the ball down. Otherwise, that's a double in the corner, maybe more. Looked like a hanging slider from Alford, and Wood jumps all over it for his first hit of the game.
But I was going to ask, what do you do as a coach and what do you do as a team in terms of just trying to get a semblance of normalcy, because you've lost practice time, you're in games now, and you got to get back that sharpness. How do you do it while the season's grinding along?
Well, that's the challenge, and you got to accomplish the preparation time midweek. And as these teams now are scrambling to replace games that were lost here this weekend, not these teams in particular, but across college baseball, a lot of canceled series, and so teams are scrambling to try to figure out ways to get back on the field. It looks like the weather is going to improve here across the South, and you see a lot of northern teams coming down here late February, early March to get games in. So just that compression of the schedule is going to be the challenge, right? Especially with your pitching staff, trying to build arm strength back up, but also keep your position players sharp, trying to see some live pitching. So it's one step at a time. You got a long season ahead of you. Some coaches are better at looking ahead in terms of the next 60, 90 days instead of just looking at the next week.
TCU leading the game 3-1.
It's like the conversations we had this week, Scott, with a lot of the head coaches of these premier programs, and they said, hey, we're looking forward to the competition. Should give us a good barometer of where we are. But we heard a few coaches say we also are excited it's going to expose maybe some weaknesses that we need to be more aware of and be able to do something about. And that's what you get when you play top level competition. You may walk away 0-3, but you may gain a whole lot more perspective about your team that's going to be helpful down the road. None of the SEC teams will walk away 0-3. They've all won a game.
And the Big 12 teams trying to mount a comeback. TCU with a 3-1 lead in this game.
Well, how about this stat? Every visiting team yesterday won, and the visiting team today is up. So that third base dugout's been the place to be. Only if you're superstitious, which no baseball players are, right?
Is there something known as superstition in baseball, Pat?
No,
come on.
No, you won't ever see that in this game.
There's a walk to Wood.
Well, now Cole Alford getting himself into a bit of trouble. And Frogs 2 on, no outs. Third inning in the game, they've been able to do that. But now you're getting to that spot where with Gray Rogers you would expect bunt here. Certainly Mississippi State defense is expecting that. Landon Jordan up on the grass at third base. Typically, pitcher will cover third baseline unless the bunt is bunted hard, but nope. Rogers is not squaring to bunt.
No, he stayed pretty upright right there.
He did. And if you're Jim Schlossnagle, you say, hey, we're going to play for the crooked inning here, but with as strong as that bullpen is, Marcelo Perez throwing well right now, you got to be thinking of TCU. If you add 1 or 2 runs here, that may do it. Good fastball for a strike there by Alford. Registered 86.
The runners at first and second, Wolf at second, Wood at first. And yeah, you were saying about getting a couple more runs because this has a feel, even though it's 3-1, that it's not 3-1. It doesn't have a feel of a 2-run game.
Yeah, yep. It's been the outstanding pitching from TCU so far. And that time, Rogers did square to bunt. Left the bat out there and didn't make contact, so strike 2 on him. See if Alford goes back to that slider. There it is. And Rogers just getting a piece of it.
Keeps the inning alive here, or keeps the at bat alive, I should say. Inning definitely alive, first and second. Nobody out.
Fastball just missed.
Oh no,
call.
he gave it to him. Kind of a belated call.
Yeah, it was
86 miles an hour indeed. And yeah, we had to wait there. I was about to say, well, he didn't get it. And all of a sudden the arm came out.
Well, he struck the glove of Logan Tanner, unless Tanner was sitting up outside the plate. And watch the glove of Tanner. I mean, that ball definitely was stuck on the outside corner. And
thinks about it. There it is.
And the slow walk to the mound by head coach Chris Lemonis. And he will make a change here, going to the right-hander. And we will see who that is coming from the bullpen in right center for Mississippi State.
Well, as the music plays, we'll see who comes out of door number 1.
Right. You know, what a game it's been. It's kind of what we were hoping for and expecting with these two fine pitching staffs, making it difficult on both offenses today. And
Chase Patrick is the new pitcher, number 18. 5'9", 170, a senior out of Ellaville, Georgia, Shilley County Community College. Actually, Shilley County High School. You look at Chris Lemonis, 205 wins, 110 career losses, 1 regional championship, previous at Indiana. And you know, it was fun talking to all these coaches, Pat, but you know, Coach Lemonis said, yeah, we were just having a chit chat.
Yeah, he enjoys talking baseball for sure, and just talking about the responsibility of being a head coach at Mississippi State. just the great legacy of this program. And you think about the multiple College World Series appearances, and I was reminded this morning, just talking to a couple of Mississippi State exes, Jack Lazorko, one of them, who joined Ron Polk in his first year as head coach at State in 1977. And Jack reminded me that in Polkey's first year, and that team was loaded. That was the Rafi Palmeiro, Will Clark, Bobby Thigpen group at State that was eliminated in '77 right here in Arlington at the old Rangers ballpark. And Baylor beat them 2-0. And he said it was a dropped pop-up on the infield that allowed Baylor to score a couple of runs. And they ultimately went to the World Series. That was Baylor's first appearance in the College World Series. But that was Ron Polk's first year at the helm of State. And of course, he took the Bulldogs to multiple College World Series appearances. And just a great legacy. And of course, Lamona's talking about when he first arrived, calling Ron Polk his first call, saying, "Coach, I love you, would hope to get you back here at some point, but I wanted you to be the first call when I took over this program to tell you how much I appreciate the legacy that you built here at Mississippi State." And Starkville's never been the same, and Lamona certainly understands the responsibilities.
Well, that's the cool thing. As we mentioned yesterday, a lot of coaches, well, they don't want the old guy hanging around.
Right.
Because, well, is he coming back? And Lamona's made that phone call, made it very clear, hey, we want you here. So that's pretty cool. And you were talking about the story earlier about him meeting with the team after their College World Series loss. And he said that was probably one of the more, if not the most uncomfortable moment of his career.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, some great stories. Then, yeah, it's like you said, you could sit there and talk baseball and stories with Coach Polk all day, just as long as you allowed him to smoke his cigar. Of course, we all know that being around Polky. He loves those cigars, man.
Good looking fastball by Patrick, 0-2. One of the guys that we didn't get much on, Patrick, and there weren't many.
Yeah, had 4 appearances last season before the season was cut off, and a couple of wins. Earned run average of 4.5. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 7 punch outs. So good start last season, and now Chase Patrick getting in here the second game of this season.
Yeah, I'd imagine part of the reason why we weren't keyed in on him, we weren't expecting to see him. Some of these guys, they weren't going to use over the weekend, but we saw how yesterday changed a lot of pitching situations.
Well, it did. Yeah, a lot of pitchers used that at both pins. And Michael Banks calling timeout, taking a few notes himself.
Mississippi State using 4 yesterday. One ball, 2 strikes.
And you've seen the hard slider from Chase Patrick, misses wide on that delivery. Not one of those typical big arms out of the Bulldog pen. More of a sinker slider delivery.
One out, a 2-2 count. 3-1 TCU, top of the 8th. Dare I say this game slowed down a bit?
Yeah, that close game, and you're going to start seeing the chess match, right, develop with pitching staffs and matchups. And that's what you got here this inning with Cole Alford, the lefty, starting the inning. And then Chase Patrick coming in behind him with that upper 80s sinker and slider repertoire. And now Zach Humphreys working himself back into the count here at 3-2.
Counts full. The runners go back to their bases. Wolf at second, Wood over first. Or actually, that's
Austin Henry.
You look at the alignment there. Love that shot, by the way. In the air, that is a high foul ball. The first baseman Hatcher puts it away. And there's two gone.
Yeah, Humphrey's a little bit upset at himself. Thought he had a pretty good pitch to hit and just got underneath it a tad. He has a center cut fastball that bell high. When you face a sinker ball pitcher, that's really what you have as a hitter in terms of approach, is making that sinking fastball come up in the zone. It tends to flatten out. That's what Humphrey's got, and he just missed it.
Wood at second, Henry at first. That's foul.
Yeah, some late sink on that fastball as well. Looked like a pretty good pitch for Shepard, and ball just dropped at the last moment. Slider almost got him.
2 balls and a strike. 3-1. 4 hits for TCU. 3 hits for Mississippi State. Each team with 2 errors. First of 3 today. Got some good ones coming up. This has been a good one. Ole Miss and Texas Tech. And then Arkansas, Texas. Good play by the third baseman, Jordan.
What a stop.
And Landon Jordan throws him out to end the inning.
Yeah, what a play by Landon Jordan. That definitely saved a run. Hot off the bat of Connor Shepard, and Jordan to Hatcher. And that'll bail out the Bulldogs here in the 8th.
Take another look at it. Just a solid smash going down to the knee, getting up and quickly firing over. And it was dug out by Hatcher. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. TCU with a 2-run lead.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah. If the chicken in the chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies, all on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
Scott Coletti along with Pat Combs. Come best, Jordan and Jordan coming up. TCU with a 3-1 lead. Mississippi State with 2 more cracks at it. Game number 1 of 3 here today. Day number 2 of the State Farm College Baseball Showdown. Globe Life Field, the venue. Ole Miss and Texas Tech coming up at 3. Arkansas and Texas scheduled for 7 here tonight. Then tomorrow it's Tech against Mississippi State in the first game. Ole Miss and Texas at 3. Arkansas gets the benefit of playing in all 3 nightcaps. They'll take on TCU tomorrow at 7. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, going to be some great games ahead of us. And all these games, all these matchups are terrific. And this is going to be a pinch hitter for Florida State, Drew McGowan, hitting now for Cumbest.
McGowan fouls it off. 1-1 to count. New center fielder for TCU, Philip Sykes, who started out at the University of New Mexico, transferred over.
How about that pitch on the inside corner by Perez, and ball started off probably inside off the plate, came back, caught that inside corner, and McGowan gets rung up. First out in the 8th.
Landon Jordan struck out, flew out, so he's 0 for 2. Marcelo Perez, 2 innings now, 3 strikeouts, and that's up the middle, a base hit. But watch out now as Landon Jordan aboard, and the guy who shot a rocket out of here his last time up, Rowdy Jordan, at the plate.
Well, I think we can say easily now he's been the most productive hitter in that state lineup, certainly the last couple of days with the 2 home runs. But the switch hitter now batting left-handed for the first time. Well, what a great skill to have, and think about the benefits a switch hitting outfielder has, and difficult to match up your pitchers against somebody like Jordan as well.
Fastball up high.
And Perez overthrowing just a bit.
Two and 0 the count.
Like that poise, pitcher steps off the back of the mound, kind of flushes the previous 2 pitches and gets his mind right for the next selection. Still up.
Got some zip on that fastball still, but not where he wants it to be. 3-0.
Well, you want to be careful with Jordan, but you certainly don't want to walk him. You don't want to put the tying run at first base, especially with the meat of that Bulldog lineup coming up. Well, Jordan's seen every fastball middle away. He's got to be sitting on that fastball away and see if he gets one here.
3-1.
There it is. Good job by Perez to get himself back into the count.
Switch hitter batting from the left side.
Perez has had a good slider today, but I think he's going to stay hard. He shook a couple of pitches and fastball in. Wow. Stuck the glove again. Very similar pitch you saw to Drew McGowan to end his at bat, and Perez comes all the way back from down 3-0 and sticks that inside corner.
Yeah, dart thrower right there. Got a bullseye.
Yep. Not what Jordan was looking for.
Cameron James at the plate now. He's 0 for 3. 3-1 TCU. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Slider just off the outside, and good take by James. Same pitch.
James upright at the plate. In the air, playable. The shortstop Sacco out in left field. No runs on a hit. We go to the 9th. 3-1 TCU. New pitcher for Mississippi State as TCU leads the ball game by a score of 3-1. That's Xavier Lovett. Lovett, 5'11", a quick arm. He gets in the mid-90s. And he had 95 to 97 this fall per Coach Lamonis. A Houston kid, right-hander, power arm.
Yeah, a good slider to complement that mid-90s fastball. Houston and Westfield High School.
It's almost gotten to the point with the pitchers that we've seen here, Pat. Well, he's got a power arm. They all have power arms.
Well, we've seen a pretty good mix of.
No, we've seen a mix,
yeah.
but I mean, we've seen some really power arms.
Oh, we know
too.
we have. There's no doubt that you're seeing a ton of these guys, and you and I talked about that last night. Back in, I don't know, 20 years ago, you would see maybe 1 or 2 pitchers each staff that were mid-90s at the big league level. Now you're seeing.
Then you had the sinker ball thrower. Then you had the changeup thrower. And
yeah.
The Tommy John kind of pitchers.
A lot of different styles, and today it's. I think there's just been so much. Focus on velocity, and you've got multiple academies now that have velocity classes. They're just teaching kids how to throw hard, and I think it's great. I think it's good for the game for kids that have better training, better strength programs to be able to build and be able to throw a harder pitch. But there's been also a lack of focus on command, and so a lot of the power arms we see are guys that are throwing hard, but like many instances yesterday, guys throwing hard either down the middle or all over the place. So it's got to be an equal balance of, let's find the power arms, but guys that can control the strike zone and command off-speed pitches.
Boyer's at the plate. Walked his last time up. That came in the 7th inning. Top of the 9th, 3-1 TCU over Mississippi State.
You don't see many Xaviers in baseball, and I played against one, Xavier Hernandez, years ago with the Blue Jays. He was out of Texas as well. Nickname X-Man. It was a lot easier, so I wonder if Xavier Lovett has found that nickname yet.
And a lot of Xaviers go by Xavier, but they made it clear it's Xavier. That's on the ground softly.
Yeah, off of Bowers' leg, I believe. Yeah, foul ball called by Michael Banks. Might have been off the top of his foot. Bowers not wearing the shin guard.
That's the second base, DeBrule.
Wow.
Wow is right. He
Bowers
flew,
made that close.
He flew up that line.
I mean, that's just a routine ground ball to second base, two-hopper, and Scotty DeBrule came up and cleaned it, fielded it clean, but man, Bowers was flying. That's the thing you love too about the college game in comparison to the major league game, is just watching hitters get out of the box and hustle every play.
Every play.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because it's easier on the college level. Hey, you don't want to run hard? We got another guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
Kind of hard to do that when you're making $1.3 million a year or whatever the going rate is. That might be a rookie nowadays, but
yeah, and I get it. You don't want to, your $30 million player blowing a hamstring out on a routine ground ball, but you just love the hustle of these young players.
Although the one thing that I saw, and it came a majority of it out of this ballpark, is when the games were on the line and you had the league championship series and the World Series, when the players are engaged, it's fun because the players were really into it last year and they were acting like kids.
There's no doubt.
As opposed to just
acting
like businessmen, they were acting like kids. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, playoff baseball is different than regular season baseball. Anybody who's ever had the chance to play postseason will tell you that. Every pitch means something and every play means something. So it is different. I think you see that in every sport. Hockey, football is no different. Just the intensity level goes up.
Nunez, who doubled his last time up, 2 for 3 with a walk. That's a strike. 3-1 to count.
And what you like out of Elijah Nunez as well is just the way he knows the game. He not only knows himself as a player, as Coach Schloss talks about, but he knows the game well as a young player.
Ground ball, love it. Beautiful grab.
That's the way to field your spot.
What's the term? Cat-like?
Cat-like reflex. That ball was hit pretty hard off the bat of Nunez, and Lovett didn't panic. He stuck his glove down there and made a smooth play. It's either that or taking the shin, so he much rather put a glove on that shin.
Right. Tommy Sacco at the plate. Sac fly his last time. Collecting an RBI. TCU, Sacco stole third, scored on an error on the catcher Logan Tanner. That was in the first inning, making it 1-0. Austin Henry, a 3-1 grounder, scored Wolf to make it 2-0. Then a home run by Rowdy Jordan to center. And top 7, Sacco, a sac fly to make it 3-1. What's curious is the fan base. The numbers are here, but it's not nearly as loud as it was, which makes me believe that maybe some fans from the other schools are already in here, maybe not cheering these teams.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's going to be that transition between games.
Because it's awfully quiet for the crowd that we have.
Yeah, you had to buy single tickets for each game, but you might be right, Scott. Just the transition is happening.
I mean, there's a lot of fans for both these schools, but just last night we had a buzz in that Tech Arkansas game, didn't we?
No, we sure did, and it got rowdy at the end of the game too. There was a an issue right after the game was over. One of the Tech players getting into it with one of the Arkansas players. So, yep, no bad blood there. I think the fans were getting after with each other as well.
Right. Sacco grounds it to deep short. Cameron James on the putout, and that ends the inning. So, final call for Mississippi State as TCU goes 1-2-3, and we go to the top half of, or the bottom of the ninth inning. The top half is over, 1-2-3, and Mississippi State with a 3-1 deficit. They'll have Tanner Allen, Logan Tanner, and Josh Hatcher coming up on Flow Sports.
How does a chicken sandwich become a Whataburger spicy chicken sandwich? Is it by slathering it in a fiery sauce or adding some crazy hot toppings? Nah. If the chicken in a chicken sandwich wants to be spicy, it has to come from the inside. By marinating it in spices, frying it up, then cooling it off with fresh veggies, all on a new brioche bun. Good thing flavor can come from within. Good thing there's the new limited time spicy chicken sandwich at Whataburger.
Is it possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
We're at the 2021 State Farm College Baseball Showdown here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Get a good look once again of this beautiful ballpark. Final go round. Tanner Allen leads things off, followed by Logan Tanner and Josh Hatcher. Allen fouls it off, 0-1. Two-run lead for TCU, trying to close things out and even their record at 1-1.
Well, Perez has really stuck some fastballs at the inside corner and really tied the state hitters up, and that's been a pitch he's consistently gotten called for strikes, and he is using it. The job that Marcelo Perez has done coming in.
I was just going to say 2 2/3 so far after Smith went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, 82 pitches. Perez has been very, very efficient. That was his 37th pitch, 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit, and 4 Ks.
Yeah, that check swing by Allen, that stung his hand a little bit. Perez trying to come back inside with that fastball. He has just really had tremendous command of his fastball today, and in and out, up and down. He's just blended in enough sliders to keep the Bulldog offense off balance. That ball up and out of the zone, and 2-strike. Tanner Allen chasing it. He's trying to keep the at-bat alive.
Allen 0 for 2 with a walk, trying to get aboard here. His team down by 2.
Wow. Nice changeup. How about that, going an 0-2 changeup after throwing fastball after fastball, and That was just a great pitch.
You could tell that Allen was looking for something else.
As we highlighted, Tanner Allen, one of the better hitters in college baseball, and just an indication of what kind of stuff Marcelo Perez is flipping up there today.
Logan Tanner at the plate, and Tanner grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up, and that was the first batter of Perez in the 6th inning. He's been rolling ever since. Only allowed one base runner, Landon Jordan, single.
Well, State needs base runners, and Logan Tanner needs to figure out a way to get on base, give Josh Hatcher a chance. Nasty slider.
He's retired 8 of 9 as Perez. Yeah, if he's got the slider, the fastball, and the change going, watch out if you're a batter.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy day for you.
Pick your poison.
That's in the gap. Got a hold of it. And that could go to the gap. And it does. It goes all the way to the wall. Logan Tanner figured him out. And he's got a stand-up double. Tying run now coming up.
Yeah, just a great two-strike approach by Tanner. Got the fastball away. Just put a great swing on it. Nice short, compact. Yep. He barreled that one up and gets it into the gap, and that's exactly what Mississippi State needed, was a runner on base. Give Josh Hatcher and Luke Hancock a chance. Next couple of hitters here for Mississippi State. A couple of guys with a lot of power. Easily tie this game up with one swing.
Hatcher 1 for 3. His single came in the 2nd.
Hey, check.
They say no. No swing.
And you like the matchup here, Hatcher against Perez. Got the left-handed stick.
See the runner in the foreground there. Getting the lead. And there's a comebacker up the middle. That's a base hit. That should score a run. In to score is Tanner. All of a sudden we've got a 1-run game. A base hit, RBI for Hatcher. 3-2 TCU.
Well, you had to think coming into the 9th inning that Mississippi State was not going to go quietly, and they sure haven't. After Perez retires Allen via the strikeout, double single now, and now all of a sudden tying run at first base. And Luke Hancock to hit.
So Hancock against Perez.
Now visit by head coach Jim Schlossler. Well, that's going to result in a change, so Marcelo Perez's day will be done.
So they got Augie Milbauer about to come in. First time we'll get to see him. Milbauer, 6 foot 195, a junior. Mukwanago, Wisconsin, Mukwanago High School.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Mukwanago. Well, the Wisconsin person corrected me. Say that right once. Sorry about that.
He is useful. I like that. Mukwanago.
And it was just a solid shot up the middle. Got a good look from the center field cam there. It was coming right into your screen. And scoring on the play was Tanner, trying to rouse up the crowd.
You know, great couple of at-bats back-to-back by Tanner and Hatcher. And Hatcher gets the fastball away, and just again a great approach. You know, when you face a pitcher like Perez, you almost have to cut the plate in half, especially with the slider fastball combo he had working, and that's exactly what he did. Got the pitch out over the plate and delivered the straight single up the middle. And now Augie Milbauer coming on, and Jim Schlossler playing some matchups with this left-handed lineup. You got Hancock and DeBrule, back-to-back lefties, and so we'll see if Chris Lemonis counters with any moves of his own. But Milbauer, pretty solid left-hander out of the bullpen for TCU. Really hides the ball well. Fastball 90 to 92. Slider. See that high three-quarter arm slot. That high set, the curveball as well. Well, if you ask for a fun, exciting ending, you got it. TCU lead cut to 1.
I didn't expect to see anything differently, Pat, because
exactly.
we've seen a lot of excitement. Maybe not in the endings per se, but just games that don't want to end because the last team at bat doesn't want them to end.
No, we had that last night with Arkansas coming back and had a huge win over the Red Raiders. Same type of deal. They put a 5 spot in the 9th inning and overcame that lead that Tech had built for the big win.
1-1 to count to Hancock. You know, Coach Schlossnagle was very high on this guy because he does hide the ball so well. And Louisville slugger freshman All-American in 2018. Big 12 all-freshman team. Good mixture of pitches with the fastball and slider, and there's a drive in left field, a base hit. And keeping going as the runner. The throw is going to be in, not in time.
Wow.
Close play at third.
Really
safe
close.
as Hatcher. Wow, again.
Yep.
We've had so many close plays in this 2 days. It's not even funny. And I got a feeling they're going to look at this
man.
one, Pat.
That's going to be a close one. What a throw by Elijah Nunez from left field to Connor Shepard. Shepard with a quick tag. Boy, that was a bang bang play at third base, but what a throw from left field. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go to
That
the
was
replay
close.
here.
That was close. Now, what'll be interesting to see is if on the slide into third base, did Josh Hatcher's hand slide over the top of Connor Shepard's foot, or did he reach the bag with it? Hatcher jumping up immediately, and it was adamant he was safe. Usually a base runner is going to feel when that tag is applied, but look at the knee and the foot. And I think he's in there. I think he's in there.
Looks like he just got that left hand in as the tag was about to be applied. Get another look at it here. Watch his left hand.
Yeah, he looks like he's in. Well, Schlossnagle had a couple of challenges, and he'll use one here and more than likely lose this bet. But
yeah, he's looking at that one right there. Looks like he just got the glove in. It is confirmed. Great job by the crew again.
Well, what a gutsy play by Josh Hatcher coming around from second base and testing the arm of Nunez. Well, you certainly don't want to make that out there at third base, but that was gutsy.
You know what got him into third base? The glove.
There it was, the mitten. See, I'm telling you.
You can see the mitten. So look for the mitten. The mitten got into the base. He was safe.
Yep. We're going to pinch runner at first base now with the winning run at first for Mississippi State. Didn't catch a number to tell you, Scott, but sounds like number 12 entered in. Davis Mitch.
Schlossnagle coming out now. 3-2 is the score in favor of TCU. Schlossnagle's going to the pen.
Yeah, Frogs had a righty and a lefty going.
We'll see which one comes in.
Yep, so Milbauer comes in, gives up the single to Hancock, and he'll exit. It's going to be the big right-hander. Looks like 49.
That's Garrett Wright. So we'll tell you about Garrett Wright here in a second, out of Aledo, Texas. And a guy that Coach Schlossnagle says is going to make an immediate impact. Fastball in the mid to upper 90s.
Well, he's drawn comparisons early on in his Frog career to Riley Farrell and Durbin Feltman. If you're a Frog fan, you know exactly who those two guys are, and both playing in professional ball and outstanding closers for the Frogs during their college careers. And when you draw that kind of comparison, that is something else coming from Jim Schlossnagle. So big time upside for Wright. Yeah, the first chance to prove himself in a TCU uniform, and he'll complement that high 90s fastball with a slider and a curveball. And Schloss says he'll be a closer in no time with that kind of stuff. And what a battle, Scott. Man, we got a good one here.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for the heart, but it sure is intriguing. We've had this tournament has not been boring. You can talk about how long the games were yesterday, but it was action galore.
Oh man, and some great finishes, and yeah, especially last night, the late one that we had. That was just an incredible ball game, back and forth all night with Arkansas and Tech, and then Mississippi State opened the tournament with a big 8-3 win over Texas. And then the Ole Miss TCU game 7-3. So
there's the rally caps. We saw the beer caps yesterday with Arkansas.
Well, let's see if the
these are rally caps with the players, not the fans.
see if the backward action works. Yeah, the beer cap was unsuccessful.
Scotty DeBrule coming up. Struck out his last time up. Aboard on an air, aboard on a fielder's choice. And DeBrule with one out in the bottom of the ninth inning. The tying run 90 feet away. The winning run at first base. That's up and in. 96.
Well, important for Garrett Wright to settle in quickly here. Not much room for error.
Well, he's going to be bringing the heat.
And almost got him. Yeah, so hard to calm those nerves, man. Jim Schlossnagle throwing him right into the fire. Taking some deep breaths out there.
Well, the guys these days, it's not just nerves. It's guys who like to throw hard. They're used to it. They go out. They're maybe not even nervous. They're just overpumped. That's ball 3. And yeah, it is nerves, but it's just you go out thinking you're on top of the world. Hey, I got 96. Hit me.
Yeah. Well, again, we've talked about just the command. You know, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. You've got to be able to command it. Zach Humphreys saying, hey, slow down a little bit. Let's get one over the plate.
And that loads the bases.
Well, big time scenarios require big time performances, and you know, you can say he's young, he's still developing, but the TCU staff has enough confidence in him to put him out there. And now you're going to get a visit from Kirk Sarlos, the pitching coach. I think they just want to kind of slow this game down a little bit for Garrett Wright. Try to get him to smooth out his mechanics. He's just jumping around out there.
And you were talking about nerves. This situation isn't going to help any nerves.
Well, not the situation, but you know, a good coach is going to be able to help him kind of straight out his thinking, and the thinking here has to be, hey, be smooth, let your stuff work, take it down a notch. It's more an affirmation. Hey, we believe in you, kid. That's exactly what Kirk Sarlos is doing. Pat him on the chest and say, hey, We put you out here for a reason. You got this. Let's go. Even guys with really strong confidence sometimes just need a little bit of talking through a situation to settle down and get themselves righted back into the game.
Brad McGowan, who struck out as a pinch hitter at the plate. He's up in a big time spot now. Bases loaded. Down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out.
Well, defense for TCU back up the middle. They're going to try to play for the double play ball. First, they got to get a pitcher that can throw a strike. Gene Wood about even with the bag at first. Connor Shepard even with the bag at third. I'm sure Drew McGowan thinking maybe take a strike here. 5 straight balls from right. Pressure is all on the pitcher right now. There it is. 96 at the knees. Sometimes it's all a pitcher needs, just kind of break the ice of that first strike.
McGowan known for defense, speed. We'll see how his hitting is. 1-1, bases loaded. Comebacker toward the middle. That's the second one. Back to first. Game over.
What a dig.
TCU wins 4-6-3 double play.
What a dig at first base by Gene Wood, and Rogers to Sacco to Wood. And that'll end the day. TCU with the big win with the bases juiced with Bulldogs.
So Mississippi State gets a run across, but TCU gets the victories. You see the celebration, and what a win for TCU. They did it with pitching, they did it with defense, and they got out of here 1-1. Mississippi State falls to 1-1. We'll take a look at the final play, and this was bang, bang. And like you said, Rogers to Sacco to Wood made it look easy. Just a little flip there, and the dagger right here.
You know, that ball was scorched, Scotty. You know, you think of Drew McGowan up there trying to hit the ball hard back up the middle, and if TCU is not in double play defense, that ball's up the middle for a base hit and a couple of runs scored. But boy, Gray Rogers had him played perfectly. Made a nice flip to Sacco, and you saw the strong arm across the diamond, and a great dig by Gene Wood to put the dagger in it.
So for Mississippi State, they had 2 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. TCU 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for the victory. And the winning pitcher of this game, who had an outstanding game, Russell Smith. As you look at the run for TCU, that coming in the first inning. And for Pat Combs, I'm Scott Galletti, as we have the schedule coming up here, as we will have Ole Miss against Texas Tech coming up, and Arkansas and Texas. And of course, the final score here, 3-2 in favor of TCU.